Previously heard on Chuck and Bo.
Can I tell this part? Were you handing out Jello shots at the game? Was that you?
Bart?
Was that you?
I was not handing out.
You were just consuming them?
There might have been a few consumed.
I knew Bart had a couple of Jello shots because when I walked up to him at the game, he came straight up to me and hugged me.
Oh, wow. That's a dead giveaway. That is a dead giveaway.
Giant smile on his
Glad
face.
you're here, man. Great to see you.
So happy.
Yeah.
It was a great weekend.
Yeah, that's a
The Chuck and Bo Show.
I would resist the urge to drink this morning.
Stop. I'm done.
You said a lot of good things there.
Well, I don't know if I said one good thing.
I met a guy last night. Love y'all to death, Jeff.
You mind if I share?
I'm looking forward to it.
The show of record for Razorback fans.
I'm in my Sunday school, and first thing he says when we hop in the car, he says, "Let's turn on the Chuck and Bo
There we
show."
It's too early for this kind of conversation. I'm still half asleep.
Here are your hosts, Chuck Barrett and Bo Mattingly.
Man, today is going to be so much fun. I'm in such a festive mood. We've got the regional coming up. Starts tomorrow.
Yeah.
People are already lined up outside the ballpark.
I'm excited.
I am too.
I drove by there last night.
I know
just,
you did.
Just to see.
I know you did. Bo was sending out videos.
So
People were going, Bo, can I be on the show tomorrow? Bo.
I embarrassed my family.
Oh, I'm certain of that.
You know, my daughter, her friend, my girlfriend, we're going to dinner. And I said, I want to drive by and see how many people are out here. And there are probably 30 people. Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't know. There's, several tents. Some of them were empty. Like, obviously, there had been an arrangement.
They'd gone to dinner.
Yeah. You guys go, we'll come back, that kind of thing. And so I turn around to come back, and I stop, and I roll down my window, and I yell at them, "We're bringing you donuts tomorrow."
Oh, wow.
And I look behind, in the back seat, and my daughter's in the floorboard.
Oh, that was great.
She's 14. She's that age. She's like, "Dad, you're so embarrassing."
Yeah.
And nobody, like, they were all mortified that I had done such a thing.
And that made your night.
Trying to just be among the people.
Right. Well, not everyone understands,
But I wanted to give them a heads up. I didn't want them to get their own breakfast this morning. you know what I mean? You don't want to show up after they have, 5 pounds of Chick-fil-A.
Well, we've got donuts coming.
Jackson's going to go down there.
Jackson is going to go down there.
Like, shortly.
We're going to send him off. In fact, we've been prepping him. We're going to give him some money and a bottle of water and send him down to the ballpark and just going to talk to the people.
Here's my only conundrum sort of question, I guess. What's weighing on me a little bit is for the good of the show, do we need to have someone taking photos or a video of the good that the Chuck and Bo Show is in the community doing?
That's a fair question.
Or are we more of who we really want to be, organic and just helping out and talk about it on the show, but we don't have to become social media heroes?
I think we should do it for the clicks.
Do you really? Yeah. That would be Edward.
More clicks.
That would be our social media director,
The 20-something-year-old in the room is here.
Yeah.
I love it.
Let's get more clicks.
Yeah, it does really.
He's like,
gotta film it.
I'm sort of in charge of that, so we need that.
At the end of the day, it's
I
all
don't know
about
who's
the
going to
clicks.
film it, but we need to film it.
We do. I thought about.
You have a friend that's up right now,
I thought
Jackson?
about getting Ty. I thought about. He's got no friends that are up right now. I thought about having
He's
Ty
sourcing.
do it this morning.
Okay.
But I also felt like that was maybe a big ask
I
for
was
someone
gonna
who
say-
just started summer.
Yeah, just out of high school.
Yeah.
Hey, man, I know you're used to sleeping till like 1, but you think maybe you could get up, I don't know, 7, 8 hours earlier than usual?
Or when you finish up your video games at 5, just come on over here.
right.
Yeah, just stay up all night.
Just stay up another hour or so
He's up
with
at
us.
Crack of noon.
So okay, what do we think the order is here? Or what you've been talking to Jackson?
Well,
you've got a plan in your mind.
Well, I just think here in a few moments we send him off. We send him to the donut store. Maybe get, I don't know, a couple of dozen regular donuts.
Yeah,
A couple of dozen,
Glazed donuts.
chocolate covered donuts, and then maybe a dozen sprinkled for, if he finds some people over there that he,
So roughly 50 donuts.
roughly 50 donuts.
Do we need any protein?
Well,
Do we need kolaches? Do we need mini kolaches? Donut holes? Do we need any coffee? Do they have the box of coffee?
I didn't think
with
about
cups?
all that stuff. I'm not a details
Is that
guy.
a little
I'm a
much?
big picture guy.
Is that a little much?
Maybe back here in this room, we need that. I don't know about for the hog pen line.
Well, Edward, this isn't really about us right now.
Oh, okay.
He's just thinking about the clicks.
I get it. He's thinking about if he's already going to the donut store.
Might as well.
Can he bring back 4 kolaches for the gang? And the
Well,
answer is yes.
We'll let you use your own judgment on that, Jackson, but it would be a nice gesture.
And get yourself something. And get yourself something.
Keep the change, of course. And so send him over there and, have him feel his way through the crowd. He's got the hat on.
They're going to be up.
He's got the Chuck and Bo Show hat on. He's going to be easily identifiable. And, they'll be up. I'll bet they're up.
Do we have Jackson?
Because people are driving by honking.
So we're talking about the people camping out on the sidewalk behind the hog pen. Do we have Jackson pull up on the road with his flashers on right there, kind of cause a scene, or park and walk all the way over there? I vote for the flashers.
Well, maybe both.
Well,
maybe,
put your park on the
maybe
road
both.
with your flashers on. Let people know. Maybe toot the horn a few times when you get out. Make sure everybody's awake. I'm here. Breakfast.
Yeah.
Chuck and Bo Show.
I don't know. I mean, I would drive by, flash, announce my presence if I were Jackson, and then
You would drive
pull
by,
in.
flash, announce my presence, and leave.
Yeah, no.
Where are the commas in that sentence? It's very important.
That's what I was hearing. Whole different Chuck arrival than the one Jackson's going to have. Yeah.
I would do a quick drive-by and head to the house.
You know, the other thing that's
just
going
me.
the negative publicity that's going to come out of this. Because,
Well, we don't want him
listen,
to get a ticket.
Lots of people write articles about this show. The negative publicity that I fear that we might get out of this.
Why?
Is that you and I didn't show up. One of us didn't show up. We sent Jackson the intern.
Do you want to go?
Well, I'm just saying.
Bo wants to go.
He does.
Bo's got the fear of missing out.
That's true. It does sound like a good time.
Well, if you want to go,
Well,
go.
Well, I think we've got a plan.
No, I'm more than happy for you to go if you want to go. I know you want to go. You guys can see it, can't you?
Yeah. Well, I think he was talking about it last night in the text group
Well,
too,
when
right?
I'm always thinking of the good of the show.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, we'll go then.
Thinking about the good of the show.
Go. We can hold it down. Bart's feeling better. He's rallied. Look at him.
We're getting there.
You look better.
Am I the only one excited about Jackson going
No,
over
I'm
to
excited.
Walker Stadium?
I'm
Chuck
excited.
is giddy, man.
I am. This is going to be fun.
Well, we got to get it started. We got to get you to the donut store. Here's the card. You got a Chuck and
If
Bo
you want to
hat.
go, Bo, go.
Well, it's not up to me, Chuck. It's what do you guys think? What do we want to do here?
Should we take a vote?
All right.
I don't want blowback.
Well, what kind of blowback you think you're going to get?
Well, one of those.
Are you afraid Jackson's going to screw it
one
up?
of those-
Yes.
You know what? I think
Bart's
this
a little
is
worried.
I think this
Bart's
is a good
worried.
plan.
I am not worried.
What do you think he's going to screw up?
No, I'm not worried.
Well, you
said
just
yes.
said
You
yes.
just said
yes.
No,
Oh,
no, I was
Bo's
answering
worried.
the
Oh,
question.
you think
of whether
Bo's
the-
worried?
Yes.
You think Bo's worried?
Yes.
Think we're good?
I think we're good, but
know,
I think your presence always adds to an event.
Oh,
It's a high wire act. Either way, no matter how you slice it. But if you would feel better being there, Dad, then go ahead.
okay. Now you've insulted.
No, I'm not
Jackson,
insulted you.
Jackson,
I've
it's
not
your show.
insulted
It's
you.
your show. It's your moment, and it's going to be Jackson in the hog pen camp today.
Unfilmed.
And if we need, you got to find somebody down there to do it, Jackson. You got to say, hey, can somebody take a couple
Work
pictures?
the phones on your way to the donut
Yeah,
shop.
at
Call
minimum,
your friends.
At minimum, on the way out, what you want to do is you want to pose for some photos. Hey, can you guys take a couple pictures? Make sure your Chuck and Bo hat's prominent. Maybe hold a donut up. And, so you're going to need donuts. I don't know. I think you might need some protein. I'd get some mini kolaches or something. Maybe a dozen of those for people that, need them.
Special group.
And then bring 4 jalapeno kolaches back for the crew here. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if they have those boxes of coffee at the donut place you're going to, but it's not a horrible idea to just get some coffee. But now we're getting into, can you carry it all and whatever. But if you pull your vehicle up right
I
out
think
there,
you should go for a little while.
Hang on.
I think you should
Just go.
Just go. My God.
I'm just giving them instructions.
No. Go for a little while. You don't have to spend the whole morning over there. Just go over there for a little while.
By the way, can we get a microphone here? We're on the radio, and nobody can hear a word.
Well, he's not really talking.
Yeah, we're only really going for like 30 minutes. I think you should go
No,
for just
you're
a little
going
bit.
for longer than 30
Little bit
minutes.
longer?
Yeah, I don't
All right.
think
I think Bo
we
should
didn't
still
really
go
get into
then.
that with you, but you're going for longer than 30 minutes.
I still think Bo should go for a little bit.
Chuck thinks he's going to be down there the whole show.
No, I didn't say that.
You could drive separate. Pull up like a
Take 2 cars.
An entourage.
yeah, an entourage.
The Chuck and Bo show entourage.
With
Bo
lights
can
flashing.
flash his lights, and I'll pull in the parking lot.
Well,
Yeah, I mean, we can park them both out there. Well, okay, go get the stuff.
Bring
and
the
then
car around.
I'll go with you.
bring the car around.
Yeah, let me know when you're back.
Bring the car around.
This is Jackson. He's valet. Does anybody need Jackson?
Little does he know.
I mean, Bo tips him a 5 when he gets in the car. I've never seen anything like
Oh
it.
yeah. I mean, you got to know how to roll. You got a big show lined up today. If you
Oh,
can't tell.
gosh, you can tell all the preparation we've done. We're just going to turn it over to Jackson. Now Bo's like, I don't know, man.
We need to start
I
doing
don't
this.
know.
You know what?
I don't know.
This is going to turn into a whole thing. We started Woo Wednesday yesterday. This is going to turn into a weekly thing. We're on Thursday or Friday. We take somebody donuts or something. So it could be a group of firefighters, could be a local fire station, could be teachers, could be just where your place where you just submit requests like, hey, can you come to our group on Friday? And we just drop in, give some donuts, say hello. We're about the community.
It's community outreach.
We are about the community. The Chuck and Bo Show is a community.
And I think Jackson's going to be a natural. I really do. I think he's going to be fine.
Well, I don't want to step on this. I think that's why I wasn't going to go.
No, it's fine. I mean, you can supervise for a little bit. Give him some
I don't think
tips.
it'll be supervision.
Oh,
I just think I'll be
I
in the
do.
middle of it.
Sorry.
Was that another shot?
No,
Was that another shot at me?
no,
You
it's
can't
not
help
at all.
yourself.
I would be the same way. And
The
for
same
some reason,
way.
I'm not.
I was in my office, and you're in here telling them the way to talk to people.
Well, I'm just coaching him up a little bit. I'm not telling him the
Like
way.
Bart, when we come back from break, say it just like
No,
this.
that's not
Say,
true.
Doug
That is
Shouse
not
does
true.
not belong in the NCAA as an official.
That is
Start.
not-
Banish him from the sport.
Chuck says, start with that, and then say whatever else you want to say. But you got to start with that.
Say it just like that.
Say it just like that. So now when we'll come back from
Okay,
break, Chuck will have been
okay.
talking about something while we were away, and Edward will look at him and say it just like that.
That's so
Wait till the music stops so I can cut that and use
And
it.
say it just like that. Man, there's more stuff coming out of the SEC meetings
there really are.
than we can even talk about. There's just so many, they don't even know where to start. and
I feel like every time I look at the news or whatever coming out of there, some coaches said something absolutely insane.
It's because they're all day drinking. They're all down there having afternoon cocktails, man.
See,
Who knows
Jackson
what's gonna come out
Jackson
of
has
their
already
mouths?
texted me. He's not even out of the parking lot yet.
gosh.
And he says, ask if I should take a vote on whether I should go to Daylight Donuts or Cronuts.
We already
Cronuts.
discussed
Cronuts.
that.
That's
we
not a
already
question,
discussed
Jackson.
this.
Cronuts is like the Ruth's Chris of donuts.
It's also like a minute down the street.
Yeah, you turn left out of the parking lot, and then before
turn right into the donuts,
and before and you don't look down, you'll
We
miss it.
discussed this already.
That's a lot of questions.
See,
You
They
might-
see
you
now.
might
Now
wanna
I'm
go,
starting to
Paul.
get worried.
I'm getting a
Now I'm
little
starting to
worried,
get
too.
worried.
we're throwing a lot at the young man. Remember,
This is his
let's
third
remember
time in the
this
office.
Let's remember.
And he's 19
he
years
just
old.
started Thursday.
Let's remember this whole relationship started over Chuck never responding to his request to be on his college podcast at school.
I'm trying to make
It's
it up
just-
to him right now. I'm trying to make it up to him. We're going to send him down there. Today's going to be his crowning moment.
That's how it all started. I spoke at this class, and this guy walks up to me after class, and he goes, you think you could come on my podcast sometime? I reached out to Chuck a few months ago, and he never got back to me.
Well, and I'm making it up to him right now.
I'm like, well, why don't you just come work
Okay.
with us?
Which is better? A chance to do this today or some boring podcast we could be on?
Right.
Today's the fun day.
Exactly. It also is just sort of indicative of my life. Hey, Chuck never got back to me. Would you mind emceeing this event?
That is not
Would you
true.
mind doing this one Razorback Roadshow with us? Chuck never got
is
back to
not
me.
true.
And Zimmerman didn't get back to me either. And with John Williams, and we couldn't get a hold of Tara. Are you available? 6:16. Good morning. We're a little bit over our head
Well,
here,
I
but
know.
we're doing the best we can. We're doing the best we can.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Buying or selling a home's a big deal, and you want someone who is with you every step of the way. That's why those of us at the Chuck and Bo Show wholeheartedly recommend Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, because we've experienced it. They've been my partners for life. They're Bo's partner now, and I promise you, when you become involved with Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, they'll become your partners for life too. They've been turning houses into homes since 1978, and you can always log on and check out their selection at WeicherGriffin.com.
First Security is about more than great banking. Yes, we provide the financial expertise, digital tools, and everything else you need when you need it. But we also go all in on local support with friendly professionals, plus convenient locations all across the state. Because we believe personal banking is better banking. Visit fsbank.com for details. That's fsbank.com for friendly, local banking with First Security. Bank better. Member FDIC.
We never thought much about power outages until we had one during the worst possible time. As a busy mom, there are plenty of challenges in a day. But with Paschal, power outages don't have to be one of them. A whole home generator installed by the pros at Paschal gave me back my peace of mind. The process was easy and understandable. Now, I don't have to worry about losing power when storms arrive. Get a free estimate today and keep the power on with a whole home generator from Paschal. Professional people, professional service. Paschal Air, Plumbing, and Electric.
If you've been hurt in a car wreck, if you're struggling to get your Social Security disability, or you're buried in debt thinking about bankruptcy, don't wait. You need a legal team that knows how to fight for Arkansans.
That's why you can trust Cadell Reynolds. Bill Reynolds and his team know how to get results when it matters most. Whether it's personal injury, disability, or bankruptcy, they've got your back.
Dial 866-314-3728 or visit CadellReynolds.com today.
Cadell Reynolds, make the right call. Why don't you just kind of style it up a little bit at the game? Let's get your drip going.
Hey, I got a lot more drip than you think.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Oh man, I got revved up.
I know you did. Both of you did.
Yeah. And I'm gonna get revved up on something different than
you
that.
guys
segment.
got so fired up, I started sweating. You know, and I wasn't doing anything that segment.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
This is gonna be epic. It's gonna be huge. It's gonna be a big day for Jackson.
Well, it'll be fun.
I've decided I'm just gonna sit right here and let Jackson have one of those life experiences.
It is. It's going to be a big day for him. Sometimes you just got to get thrown into the deep end of the pool.
And whatever happens, happens.
That's right. That's exactly right.
And you got to do it with confidence.
If he starts to drown, you throw him a life jacket
somebody there,
or something.
Somebody
will pull him out.
That's too. I'm nothing.
And he'll be fine.
That bad can happen.
I mean,
He's ready.
we did the same thing back in the day. He'll be okay.
Did we ever?
I mean, holy cow.
Matt Jones at 7:00. Whole Hog Sports, baseball. Can I call him a baseball insider?
He really is. Matt does a great job
He's
covering the baseball program.
really all over baseball.
For a long time.
Yep. And guy's got a memory of stats that'll blow your mind.
Yeah.
Brandon Marcelo, CBS Sports, from the SEC meetings in Destin at 8:00.
Working on his tan
while he's also trying to figure out what in the world's going on with all these meetings and how many games the SEC should play. By the way, does anybody have an opinion on that in the room? Do you want to play 9 SEC games or 8 SEC games? We have 8 right now.
Why would you want to play 9? Why? Somebody give me a good reason other than that you get a little bit extra spending money in your pocket.
Well, no.
Give me a good reason.
The reason for some people would be that you're going to get a much bigger television deal and you need more money. Here's the thing that's never apparently ending. We're always going to need more money. So if we're always making decisions based on more money, I'm not sure that at some point you do reach diminishing returns.
There's a bubble
on the value.
I think we're approaching it.
But for me, this whole idea of the playoff and how many teams get in there and all that stuff, the SEC doesn't need to do anything different.
Right.
I don't need to do anything differently.
They don't need to do a single thing differently.
I don't know why. I don't know.
And it's Brian Kelly, by the way, needs to shut up.
See, here's what happens with Bart. Okay.
Brian Kelly's going on the wall.
Bart has.
What did he do?
Well, hold on. Let me just tell you about Bart and Brian Kelly.
Okay.
I've known Bart for a long time.
All right.
Bart is the example of if he's already got a feeling about something. That's the predisposition. That's the predisposition. Bart doesn't like Brian Kelly. There's nothing about Brian Kelly that Bart likes.
And everything he says
there
is
literally nothing.
So if there's one little thing that Brian Kelly does, it becomes 10x. It's the same haters of the Chuck and Bo show syndrome. The same kind of thing. You don't really. Now, I'm not saying that invalidates anything he feels or says about Brian Kelly, but you just have to know when we get into this that Bart already doesn't like Brian Kelly.
He hates him.
So as soon as he saw one thing that Brian Kelly said yesterday that he didn't agree with, Brian Kelly became the biggest moron on the planet.
I would have said,
and should be banished from the SEC. You follow me.
He doesn't belong in the SEC anyway. But I would feel the same way regardless of who said it.
So what did he say? For the love of God, man, what did he say?
He said that everybody in the SEC wants to play a Big Ten school. The SEC wants to play Big Ten teams. The SEC wants 9 conference games and a game against the Big Ten. I got news for you. If you're Arkansas and you want that, you're out of your mind.
Well, Sam Pittman already said he didn't.
Right. If you're most SEC teams and you want that, you're out of your mind.
All right, would you take an 8-game SEC schedule, but you have an SEC Big Ten challenge every year, and you play a Big Ten non-conference
I don't want to play a Big Ten team ever unless it's in the playoff or a bowl game.
Really?
There's no benefit to it. Man, hey, let me tell you.
It wouldn't be entertaining to you?
I'm really excited.
It wouldn't be entertaining
I'm really
to you?
excited for that Week 2 Kentucky at Minnesota game. Oh, baby, that's doing a lot for me.
A lot
there are 3 Big Ten teams that are worth a damn. 3.
Oh, my God.
Got a heart rate of 180.
3. You wouldn't like to play Illinois?
Ohio State.
You wouldn't like to play Illinois?
Bart's feeling better.
Yeah.
A lot better.
I'm really not. I just think the antibiotics.
15 minutes ago, I'm getting there, man. I'm getting it. Now it's Brian Kelly, and he's like,
well, I mean, he
like
said one of the
drug.
dumbest things in the world that's just not true. He said he's spewing falsities, falsehoods.
Yeah, but he can dance with recruits though, and speak the Cajun language.
I think an SEC Big Ten non-conference game every year would be fun, be entertaining. Fans would love it.
I don't think so.
Well,
I just disagree.
Really?
And I think
I couldn't figure that out.
Especially if that takes away from like traditional rivalry games or regional rivalry games. Like if you go to a 9-game SEC schedule and a game against a Big Ten team, South Carolina's not playing Clemson anymore.
Well,
Florida's not playing
I'm going to
Florida
be
State.
okay with that.
I'm not okay with that. I don't want Arkansas playing Rutgers and Maryland and Iowa and Minnesota and Northwestern. I want Arkansas playing Texas Tech, Oklahoma State, Baylor, Houston, SMU. Like, that's what makes sense.
Okay.
Like, this is not that complicated. Again, it's another example of the adults in the room screwing it up for everybody else.
We have got to send Bart to the spring meetings next year.
100%.
My God.
100%.
No, I don't want to be covering the spring meetings. I want to be running the spring
I've got
meetings.
this
you'll
visual
be
of
interviewed.
Bart out in front of the hotel there at Sandestin, filing his report, pointing at the camera, screaming.
And then pointing back to the Sandestin Hilton about what's
These
happening in there.
morons.
The people in there. What's going on in there is a travesty for all of college athletics. And it's all started by Brian Kelly. And then he turns back to the camera and he points right in it. And let me tell you something.
yes.
If you think this is the way to go, you too, sir, are a moron.
You want clicks, Edward?
So look, honestly, the real simple question about 8 or 9 games is, and disappointed sports fans said, I'd rather have a 9th game because we got a better game to watch, and we're not playing
Bad for Arkansas.
Northwestern State. But you got to remember, it's a
This is entertainment.
Like if you play more SEC games, it's going to be harder to get to 6, 7, 8 wins, or
Yes.
9 wins.
Yes.
Like, I don't know how this doesn't all match up for people, but like I said this year, people are all worried about the schedule. People are all concerned about
You're already
Arkansas.
playing 4 or 5 top 10 teams.
They're
top
already,
15
but what I'm saying is they're
You wanna play
already
another?
really concerned
Or
about
2
the
more?
schedule. People are walking up to me. I guess people are ready to talk football occasionally, Chuck, because I've had 3 people walk up to me in the last day. Hey, what do you think about that total of 5.5 for football this year? What do you think about that?
Getting that bet in early.
And I'm like, I guess. I'm like, what? I think it'll be tough, but I think they can. I'm generally a glass half full person, so I'm going to say I think they'll go over. Right. But it's going to require some upsets. It's going to require some big wins.
Is that how you answer it?
But that's exactly how I answered it.
Okay.
But as we get closer, I did say, like back in February, I think I was the first to proclaim 9-3.
You did.
But I just wanted to get it on the record, and then we can laugh about it later. But the other part of this is, you can schedule your way to 6, 7, or 8 wins, or a more favorable schedule. But as a fan, you're not enjoying all those games. So I was saying to the people that were complaining about how difficult the schedule is, it is what it is. So you might as well just enjoy the fact that you're going to get to play some really good games, and there are going to be very few games that are lousy. So at least you're getting that. And hopefully you're competitive in the games and win some of the games that you weren't favored to win.
Well, if you're just interested in the schedule and you want an entertaining set of games to watch, I don't know that Arkansas has ever had a better schedule than the one they have right now. I mean, they're playing Arkansas State, they're playing Notre Dame, and you're playing all the teams in conference play now that back in the good old days we only played in bowl games. So I think from an entertainment standpoint, I don't know what more you could want.
We got to get Jackson down there.
I know.
He's
What's
already
going
talking
on?
about. He's texting me talking about coming back here with the kolaches before he goes there. I'm like, no, we got to get you down there.
Look, what did we tell
We
him
have a
about asking
microwave.
questions? Really?
Well, he was telling me that he was coming back here first. and
We
I
don't
said,
need
no,
updates. We don't need updates.
get
We
there.
don't need questions. Just go.
Get there and call the show.
Should've
Go
started
and
with-
figure it out.
It's got to run into the 7 o'clock interview now. It's going to be a mess.
It's just it's falling apart.
It is. It is. You got to
Falling
have.
apart.
This is why you got to have a producer on the ground, Chuck.
I told you to
Trying to
go.
say.
We all
I told you to
Dang
go.
it, guys, you got to.
I told you to
You got
go.
to have somebody in charge.
I told you. I said if you'd
The
feel better,
problem-
then
It's
go.
the problem with college football. If you feel better, go. How about it for the good of the show? How about for somebody's got to be in
I
charge?
don't think the show's falling apart yet. I mean, we got plenty of time for this thing to like veer into the ditch.
First Security Bank, they deliver donuts all the time. They've been doing it for years on Fridays. You get a donut probably when you go in a First Security Bank on a Friday. First Security Bank's got the most inviting lobby and atmosphere you're ever going to run into. Located all over our great state, convenient locations, because they're all about being friendly and professional and helping you bank better. First Security Bank, the official bank of the Chuck and Bo Show. FSbank.com online. First Security Bank, member FDIC.
I am amazed at the number of people who think they're smart.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Flight by Yingling. It's the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yingling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yingling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yingling and Son Incorporated. Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
Hey, want to fly like a VIP? With Jet Aircraft, you skip the TSA lines, skip baggage claim, and fly on your schedule. The plane doesn't leave until you get there. You enjoy a full bar and food service for up to 9 passengers and plenty of room for luggage. Wherever you need to fly to or from, whether it's a special trip to the College World Series or golfing with buddies, round up your crew, split the cost, and fly private. Also, ask about the Jet card. Visit jetnwa.com. That's Jet with 2 T's. Today's been it's been a strange day.
Yeah, we've had some struggles here and there.
Just
let's just be blunt. Can we be blunt?
Well, it's 50-50 at best.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Is there anything worse than being in a line at a convenience store and you got a lottery ticket buyer? It tests every bit of patience, religion, everything good in your life. It tests.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Have we heard from Jackson? Have we heard from Jackson? Is he there?
I guess they had to make all the donuts.
Is he on the side of the road eating donuts?
We're just listen, we're going to see how it goes, but the clock's ticking.
It is ticking.
Get to the hog pen.
That's exactly
Breakfast is needed.
That's exactly. Hey, I'll tell you who's excited about this weekend. Weiger Realtors, the Griffin Company.
He's on his way.
Is he?
He's on his way.
All right, good deal. Yeah. They're baseball people, and I know they're raring to go for game one tomorrow and all through the weekend, just like the rest of us are. That's why we like doing business with them. It's why we became friends. It's why now we're partners for life, is local people, folks that are interested in a lot of the same things we are. And they will be front and center this weekend for this regional. And, they're always there for you when it comes time to buy or sell a home. And, one of the things that separates Weichert Realtors, the Griffin Company, from everybody else is the way they train their people. When you partner with them, you're partnering with a true pro. This is not someone that's going to do this on the side and pay for summer vacation. They do it every day, and they're going to be there with you every step of the way, whether it's your first time out or whether you've done it many times over the course of your life. They're in northwest Arkansas, Washington and Benton counties, Fort Smith, Branson. They've been turning houses into homes since 1978, and you can log on to WeichertGriffin.com.
I'm here with my family.
That's Brian Kelly.
That's funny.
The authenticity of Brian Kelly.
Is that what got you, Bart?
To the south.
I'm here with my family.
When he said it like that, did you know he was your kind of guy then?
I knew a long time before then.
Do you think he ever sounded like that at Notre Dame?
No.
Family.
We're all family here. It's good to be here in the Bayou.
How do you think LSU's going to do this year, Bart?
They going to lose the opener?
They always do. Who are they playing?
Probably. I don't know.
They always play some non-conference
Miami?
game at the
no,
start.
They're playing Clemson.
They'll
lose.
Yeah, they'll lose that game. And then they'll win like 9 in a row.
Clemson's supposed to be really good this year. They're supposed to have retooled.
We'll see. I don't buy that.
If Clemson is good this year, Bart doesn't buy it.
No shortage of opinions over here today.
Bart doesn't buy it. I know. But if Clemson is good this year, we're going to be talking college football storyline is going to be how Dabo Swinney bucked the transfer portal, bucked the NIL system, said, I'm going to keep doing it my way. We all said he was going to die on that hill. And now people are saying they're going to be good again this year. And if they are, the guy's going to become a hero this year. I know Bart's doubtful.
Well, look, it shouldn't be too difficult to win 9 games with the schedule they have this year.
Well,
Clemson,
I'm not talking about 9 games.
Also, LSU has a really easy schedule, all things considered, this year.
Do they really?
Their SEC games are Florida, at Ole Miss, South Carolina, at Vanderbilt, A&M, at Alabama, Arkansas, and at Oklahoma. Not exactly a murderer's row this year.
JR's in Shady Grove. JR, good morning. You're on the Chuck and Bo Show, hosted by Bart.
It's summer of Bart.
Bart
man.
is wound up.
Hey, it's the summer of Bart.
Premiering Bart.
Man, he is really cooked up.
Bart.
You know what? I don't understand why people have a hard time about the schedule. I'm the opinion that you want the toughest schedule that you can play. And the reason is you want the exposure. You want to be able to, have the ability to have all these games that are tough opponents. It's going to make you better. It's going to give you the exposure. I know the recruiting's out the window, but as far as the NIL and being able to get players in, if you have a tough schedule and you repeatedly have a tough schedule, I think that's better for the university, in my opinion. So,
well, what if you lose?
Well, if you lose, it still gives you the exposure. You're still out there. Why do you want to play, Nevada Southwest State University when you can play, Notre Dame?
Because there's only maybe 5 or 6 really good college football teams in a year, and the rest of the teams that play up to 9 or 10 wins or more, you go back and look at their schedule, and they benefited from that.
I know, but see, those days are fixing to be gone because that's all going to change. You know, all this is a revolving door. You know how it's all going to do. You could play the easiest schedule in the world, and they're going to look at it. And if you're tied with somebody that has a harder schedule, you're not going to get into it anyway. I mean, it's all strength of schedule.
I hear you. I just think Arkansas' schedule and any SEC schedule is good enough without adding one more conference game to get into the playoff. And other conferences, maybe their schedules aren't. But strength of schedule in this league, if you're a playoff contender, is not a problem. Jackson has arrived at Baum-Walker Stadium. He's going to serve donuts. The intern is going to take donuts to the people. We're going to hear how this goes. And we have mediocre hopes.
Fair to Midland.
We have high hopes when we come back. Everybody's welcome to their opinion. That's just flat out wrong.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Hey, it's moms, dads, and grad season at Splash Car Wash, and they're running a special offer just for listeners of the Chuck and Bo Show. Right now, buy one best car wash and get 2 free. One for mom, one for dad, one for your favorite grad, or just keep one for yourself. We won't tell, because we know how good it feels to drive a clean car. Triple the shine with 3 car washes for only $27. Text Splash Arkansas to 22322 for the link to access this exclusive online offer.
We never thought much about power outages until we had one during the worst possible time. As a busy mom, there are plenty of challenges in a day. But with Paschal, power outages don't have to be one of them. A whole home generator installed by the pros at Paschal gave me back my peace of mind. The process was easy and understandable. Now, I don't have to worry about losing power when storms arrive. Get a free estimate today and keep the power on with a whole home generator from Paschal. Professional people, professional service. Paschal Air, Plumbing, and Electric.
Chevy of Fayetteville is kicking off end-of-the-year savings this May. Drive home a new 2025 Chevy Silverado starting at just $34,000. Get up to $6,000 off MSRP on a new 2025 Tahoe or Colorado. And up to $13,000 off a new 2025 Crew Cab Silverado. Don't miss these huge savings. Only at Chevy of Fayetteville. Together, let's drive.
Are you looking for tough, reliable equipment from people you can trust? WT Equipment is your local family-owned dealership with 8 locations across Arkansas. And yep, they're big-time hog fans too. From Bobcat to New Holland, Hustler, Steel, and more. They carry the brands you know and trust to get the job done. Whether it's equipment or implements, WT Equipment has the tools you need, including a full lineup of Bobcat machines built for power and performance. Stop by your nearest WT Equipment today.
Oaklawn is your hot springs escape. Enjoy plush comfort, upscale dining, and Arkansas's only Forbes 4-star rated spa at our luxury hotel. And with easy access to Hot Springs National Park and sparkling lakes, Oaklawn is your home base for everything the region has to offer. Come stay, play, and get away at Oaklawn, a Forbes Travel Guide recommended hotel. Make your reservation at oaklawn.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700.
There's no better shopping experience than you're going to find at Macadoodles or at Guess Who in Bentonville. And every Wednesday is Wine Down Wednesday. 15% off every bottle of wine in the store, even if it's already on sale. But when it comes to selection, amazing prices, and unbeatable customer service, Macadoodles and Guess Who in Bentonville is second to none. Wine, beer, and spirits. Stock up for your next party or just stop by and grab your favorite. Macadoodles, just north of Bella Vista, and Guess Who in Bentonville.
How was Saturday night for you after the game? What'd you do to celebrate?
The only few I thought maybe get a few cold beers in there and maybe help it out a little bit.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
By the way, those are all gambles. Those are all raffles to some extent. They're all gambles.
Life is one big raffle.
It is.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Flight by Yingling is a proud beer of the Chuck and Bo Show.
Proud to be the beer.
Raise the bar, raise your expectation for light beer. Raise a glass, Flight by Yingling. It's like a Yingling, but it's a light beer. 95 calories, the next generation of light beer. Next time you're at a restaurant, ask for it. See if they have it on draft. It's amazing. Or next time you're at the store picking up your goods, pick up a Flight by Yingling. If you're headed to the Hog Pen this weekend, Jackson, our intern Jackson is there now. He's arrived. You're at Baumwalker Stadium.
Sir.
All right, let's get the party started.
Set the scene for us,
I am
Jackson.
walking up right now.
Are you carrying the donuts?
I'm carrying 4 boxes of donuts along with another box of sprinkled donuts.
And talking on the phone. I mean, it's truly amazing.
What a talent.
Yeah.
What an early talent.
Yeah. Don't drop anything.
What does it look like as you walk up? I know there are thousands of people
there's
there.
a ton of tents here. A lot of people have their stuff already lined up at the gate.
Really?
Wow. It's Thursday.
They've got their wagons. Their wagons are all lined up.
Have you been able to roust anyone?
Are there any signs of life?
Yeah, are there signs of life? Have you knocked on any tents?
I see an individual up right now. I see one.
Yeah?
I would go to that person.
Yeah.
I'm walking straight up to him.
Go to the person that's awake.
An individual.
Yeah.
Put them on the phone.
Yeah. Ask them how they're doing.
Yeah, how it feels to be on the Chuck and Bo
What
Show.
it's like to be on the Chuck and Bo Show.
I'm Jackson Simics. I'm with the Chuck and Bo Show.
Yes.
I've got donuts. I've got coffee. I've got kolaches for all the people that are waiting in the Hawthorne line.
They're all waking up. Who's going to put them on the side?
Yeah, we were hoping to bring all you guys donuts and kolaches, coffee.
Ask him how long he's been there.
They would like to know, how long have you been standing here waiting?
Just standing here.
Okay, so he got here yesterday morning.
Treat your phone like a microphone, Jackson.
Yeah,
you got to
put it on speaker.
You got to ask the question in the phone and then turn the phone over to them like it's a microphone.
Where's he from?
Put it on speaker.
Where's he from?
Where are you from, sir?
I'm from Siloam Springs.
All right.
All right.
There we go.
What's his first name?
How long have you been waiting here for?
Since yesterday morning. We're out here sunrise yesterday.
Do you have to take off work?
Yeah, well, I got my laptop out here. We tapped into the Razorback Wi-Fi, and so I do a little bit of work from the sidewalk here, but don't tell my boss.
All right. That's awesome.
We'll keep you anonymous. How does it feel to be on the Chuck and Bo Show?
No, it feels good. Thanks for being out here. Thanks for bringing us food, man. We always like to eat out here. We get hungry.
That's awesome. Jackson, will, if you get a lunch order to him, he'll bring you lunch and dinner later today, too.
Uber Eats.
Yeah. So do you stay there the whole time?
Yeah, well, we have a group of us, and so, yeah, there'll be someone here staying in our spot the entire time, but occasionally we'll rotate out if we have to run and do something or run some errands, because it's a long time out here, being out here Wednesday morning.
Now, where you
someone's
are
out here the whole time.
Where you are right now, are you pretty much guaranteed being on the front row? Can we look for you when we watch on television Friday?
Oh, we hope so. I don't know. There's a lot of people out here still ahead of me that showed up about the same time I did, so, but yeah, we're hoping to be on the front row, and I'll wave at you.
Do you guys push each other out of the way, like on the way down
Oh,
there?
no,
and
no.
stuff?
We're all friends and family out here. You get to know each other out here on the sidewalk when you're out here this long, man. We're all friends, cordial, and we kind of know where we like to go when we get into that hog pen, and so it's friendly out here.
All right, John Doe from Siloam Springs. Thanks for joining us. Jackson, who else is up? We got to talk.
We've got another.
Yeah, go.
We've got another individual here.
They're getting up.
Take
there.
it away. We're going to let you take it away. Go ahead.
All right, so where are you from, sir?
I'm from Springdale.
And how long have you been sitting out here and preparing for this regional?
For this one, I've been out here since yesterday morning.
Okay, and I mean, do you work here along with Mr. John Doe over here? Do you work from here?
Actually, I'm retired. I'm originally from Arkansas. I've been retired for about a year now, so I moved back to the state, and so go to about as many Razorback games as I can go to. So I spend a lot of time out here on the hog line and get in the front row if we can.
Get into the provocative questions now, Jackson. Like, does anything rowdy happen out there?
Yeah, I mean, what all rowdy things go on in this line? I mean, what else?
Not too much. I mean, this morning I'm sitting here bringing in some coffee and just hanging out.
Now, I've got an individual motioning to me a little weed action, maybe a little cigarello action, saying that they do a little something.
Some guy is making it, not this guy.
We didn't go over that part.
I'm John Doe too, okay?
Yeah, we have a lot of John Does out here today.
He may have his medical card. The guy may have his medical card.
It's medicinal, man.
He does have a medical card.
Dang, guys. The guy's coping.
It's purely medicinal.
It's a Chuck and Bo show. We're live at Baumwalker Stadium on the sidewalk outside the hog pen. Jackson is taking donuts. Keep going, Jackson. This is
and apparently something else.
You get hungry. I mean, they're going to need the donuts.
What's it like to sleep on the concrete? Are they sleeping on cots? Are they sleeping on the concrete?
I do.
What's
I see
the
a bunch
story?
of cots out here.
Yeah.
A bunch of cots,
Trying
a bunch
to
of
bail you
blowout
out.
mattresses. I can talk. Here's a guy who's he's sleeping on an air mattress. Sir, how does it feel to sleep on an air mattress out here?
We're used to it. It's not our first time, but it's not bad. It's not too bad at all.
How do y'all feel having Jackson out there with a bunch of donuts and some kolache and coffee?
Hell, I'm excited. I just woke up to the sound of someone saying there were donuts.
Yeah, well, that's
good
really
way to
all
wake
you need
up.
to hear. That's all you
Well,
need
from
to
all
hear.
of us here at the Chuck and Bo Show, congratulations on your commitment to the hog pen and the Razorback Regional. Yeah, for real.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Enjoy it. Enjoy the donuts and the food.
Absolutely.
Jackson,
Thanks,
share a donut with those people and come back and tell us about it.
I will.
Chuck and Bo Show.
I will share.
It's
Ty
almost 7.
Story, high school football coach and former college quarterback.
I love coaching, but it's a lot more fun after LASIK. Now when I'm coaching, I can focus on my players and not my eyes. After LASIK, my eyes are even better than before when I had glasses or wore contacts. The McDonald Eye Team was great. They put me at ease. I couldn't believe how well I was seeing the day after surgery. Good vision and good football go together. I'm really glad I trusted my eyes to McDonald Eye Associates.
See your best with safe and affordable LASIK from McDonald Eye Associates. Register for your free consultation at mcdonaldeye.com.
Hey, you can beat inflation and upgrade your ride at Chevy of Fayetteville. Right now, drive home a brand new Chevy Silverado, Blazer, Equinox EV, or the Tough 2500 with rates as low as 1.9% APR. Plus, take advantage of huge discounts and get top dollar for your trade-in. Go see Chris, Mark, and Denver at Chevy of Fayetteville, where the deals are big and the road ahead is even better. Chevy of Fayetteville. Let's drive.
Some moments just call for something unforgettable. At Blakeman's, you don't just buy a diamond. You create an unforgettable experience. Their newly remodeled space is stunning with Cafe B right inside and their in-house diamond expert that'll help you find the perfect piece every time. That's just part of the Blakeman's experience. When you see the purple bag, you know it's something special. It always saves the day. Blakeman's Fine Jewelry. It's more than jewelry. It's your story.
With rainy season here and summer just around the corner, make sure your gutters are ready. Hogcroft Gutters, locally owned with over 30 years of experience, does it all. Seamless gutters made on site, trenching and French drain. Fully licensed and insured with a 20-year warranty on every job. Serving Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley. And if you're outside those areas, just give them a call or a text. And for a free inspection, visit hoggutters.com. That's hoggutters.com.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
I don't know what on time is for you, but yeah, you got here before the show started.
Whatever. Hey, have you ever seen anyone that takes so much pride in being the first one here?
Previously heard on Chuck and Bo.
Well, the reality is, guys, in the sports world, fans, we all think we know. We know everything about sports. We have all the answers. Now, when you take your car down to get it fixed, you don't look at the guy and go, that's not how you do that. Are you an idiot? That's not how that works. You don't go to the doctor's office and say, I don't know. I don't really like. Some people are absolute know-it-alls. They want to tell the pilot how to fly the plane. But most of us know. We realize that's not our lane. But in sports, it's everybody's
The
lane.
Chuck and Bo Show.
I would resist the urge to drink this morning.
Stop. I'm done.
You said a lot of good things there.
Well, I don't know if I said one good thing.
I met a guy last night. Love y'all to death, Chuck.
You mind if I share?
I'm looking forward to
The show of record for Razorback fans.
Driving my son to school, and first thing he says when we hop in the car, he says, let's turn on the Chuck and Bo Show.
It's too early for this kind of conversation. I'm still half asleep.
Here are your hosts, Chuck Barrett and Bo Mattingly.
Regional baseball, baby. It's going to be a great weekend.
Well, Jackson parties
Fired
with
up.
the hog pen line,
Yeah, they're
donuts and everything else. We'll go back to them for an update here in about 15 minutes. We're going to go inside Baum Walker Stadium to what's going to actually happen on the field this weekend. Matt Jones has written about it. His staff's written about it at WholeHogSports.com. He's what we like to refer to as a baseball insider. He's been following it very closely all year. Been following it for years. Matt, thanks for hopping on the Chuck and Bo Show a day ahead of the game here.
Hey, good morning, guys.
All right, the regional comes out. North Dakota State, Creighton, Kansas, Arkansas hosting. What were your thoughts on the draw?
You know, I wasn't real surprised by it. I mean, you kind of look back through the years about who the teams are that have come to the regionals here, and a lot of times it's teams from border states or teams from Kansas and Nebraska. And so the Creighton, Kansas thing didn't surprise me at all. I know a lot of people thought Little Rock might come up here as the 4 seed, and, you know, I thought that there was a pretty good chance of that too. But you always have to look at the 4 seeds that are in areas that don't have any regionals near them. And, you know, there are 7 teams from the Northeast that made the regionals this year, and then there was North Dakota State. And none of those teams had any regionals near them. So I figured there were going to be a lot of regionals that had a team that maybe raised an eyebrow, and that's North Dakota State. But I think that, you know, you look through the years, and, you know, Grambling State came here in 2010. Marcus hit like 9 home runs against them in a regional game. And this is what North Dakota State kind of reminds me of. It's a team that's 20-32. I'm not saying Arkansas is going to homer 9 times against them, but, you know, they're 12 games under 500. They're just not the – there are some 4 seeds that you look at them, and I think they, you know, probably are better than a 4 seed. You know, North Dakota State, this is a byproduct of a team, you know, that plays, I think, in a little bit of a weaker conference. ORU has run that conference for years, and you know, you got to come and you got to play, you know, hard and be ready for the whatever challenge they're going to bring at you. But I would say from, you know, if you could get any 4 seed in this tournament, I would say, you know, North Dakota State's one of the ones that you would want to have in terms of being able to like your chances to move on to the winner's bracket.
What's the challenge, or who's the biggest challenge from Kansas and Creighton? Creighton's been hot lately. What's the story on these guys?
Well, you know, Creighton, Ed Service, their coach, is retiring after the year. Mark Kingston, who used to be the coach at South Carolina, is the coach in waiting there. He's an assistant on their staff. And he's been to Baum, you know, obviously before, brought South Carolina over here for a super regional. They're going to play hard because they want to keep their coach's career going, you know, obviously. And, you know, so that's kind of the story with Creighton. They can pitch. You know, their offensive numbers are not real great. For Kansas, they can score. They've got a pretty dangerous lineup. They got a first baseman named Brady Ballinger, who's a semifinalist for the Dick Hauser Trophy. You know, he's got some real nice numbers this year. And then, you know, they've got some capability on the mound. Kansas is a really strange team, though, because I think 7 of their 10 Big 12 series this year, they either swept or they got swept. And so you never know what you're going to get with KU from week to week. And I think it starts, you know, with Vogel, their starter. You know, some weeks he's really on, and when he's on, he's really good. And then some weeks he's not. And, you know, when he's not, it seems like it doesn't go so well for the team. And so, you know, I think KU is probably the more dangerous of those 2 teams. But like you said with Creighton, they've won 7 in a row. They've won 13 and 14, and they've got this coach that's retiring. So you know they're going to play hard. But sometimes the try hard can get it can get trumped by talent, and I don't know that you look at the other teams. I don't see the prospects on the other teams like I see on Arkansas's roster.
Matt, what is Arkansas? Where do we find them, and what do they have to sort of bottle up here? I think DVH has played it pretty close this week. I think media availability is limited to whatever the regional says you got to do. I'm not suggesting they're uptight, but I think he's consciously aware of all the outside noise about, it's basically win it all or bust. And that's kind of been the feeling of the fan base because Arkansas has been so good since 2017 across the board. What's your view on them making a run?
Well, I think they've got the potential to do it. I think they've got a nice regional draw here, and I think they've got a good chance of making it to the second weekend at least. They've got to get some consistency, I think, from their starting pitching. I think Zach Root, he's been really hard to figure out this year because he'll go 2 weeks and be great against Texas and LSU, and then he'll come back against Tennessee, and it's not there. And some of that is what Tennessee's lineup is. I mean, it's really good. I think it's the best lineup that I've seen this year offensively. I didn't think he threw that bad against Ole Miss. You could say, hey, he's got to make the pitches to get off the field, and I'd say, well, he did. And his middle infield let him down. And so I didn't think he pitched so bad against Ole Miss last week. But as far as what's the feeling of the team, it's hard to say because we haven't seen them play but one game really in the last 2 weeks. And that was the game against Ole Miss down in Hoover last week. I felt pretty good about them at the end of the regular season. I mean, they went 6-3 against Texas, LSU, and Tennessee, all regional hosts. 2 of those are top 8 national seeds. And, they easily could have been 7-2. You think about one of those games against LSU was decided at like 1:17 in the morning. That's a coin flip if there ever was one in baseball. So I'll tell you this about Arkansas. I like them at home. I think that they pitch well at home. I think they hit well at home. They just look like a different team whenever they play at Baum, and they're 32-4 at home this year. And I know I'm not going to bet against them playing at home. And you give that team a top 8 national seed, and I like their chances to go to Omaha.
How do you think they work their pitching this weekend?
That's the question, isn't it? I mean, we'll find out today. You look at Van Horn in the past, his teams. The last staff ace who threw game 1 of a home regional, so against the number 4 seed, was Blaine Knight against ORU in 2018. And so they have, they've gone to their number 2 guy quite often for these Friday games, and that's kind of what I think they'll do against North Dakota State. But I don't know. I mean, there's a chance that maybe they want to keep guys on the same rest, and they see matchups and splits, and so that they want to throw Zach Root. We'll find out today. I don't know that we'll find out during the media availability this morning. Last year, Van Horn said that he wasn't going to announce it until the coaches meeting at like 4:00 in the afternoon on the regional day. So. You look at North Dakota State, though, I think they hit like 251 against left-handers, 255 against right-handers. Not a big difference there. Their OPS is quite a bit better against right-handers than it is against left-handers, though. So I don't know if that makes a difference or not. From what I can tell, they're a pretty dominant left-hand lineup.
Matt, great stuff. It's a great look at it. Thanks for what you do. We love reading your stuff. Thanks for hopping on with us.
You do a great job, man.
Yeah, hopefully we can do it again next week after a regional victory with the expectation of a super regional.
Sounds good, guys. Appreciate it.
All right, thanks. Matt Jones, WholeHogSports.com. Also, they've got a daily podcast there. He covers it well. 877-377-6963. Eddie's in Clarksville, and he's been holding, and he's fired up, and he's revved up, and he's ready to go.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Eddie.
I'll tell you what, I'm getting pumped. I know the team is pumped, and listen to that, 32-4 at home. But I want to caution the team on one thing. Just go out with absolute love. There's a movie I watched one of my favorite sports movies of all time. Billy Bob Thornton played coach in this movie, we all know. And just before a big game or series, he walked into the locker room and told his team, gather hands. look each other in the eye. You know, he told them, with absolute love in your heart, there's not one more pitch I could have made. Not one more hit I could have made. Not one more defensive play you could have made. And if you can live in that moment, you know, then you can walk off with your head held high. Because that moment is coming this weekend. And never underestimate your opponent. You know, I don't know if we've ever played in North Dakota State, but I'll tell you what, the Bison, never underestimate your opponent. That's number one. Number two, you know, they're coming in here. They don't care about your regional wins. They don't care how many times you've been to the College World Series. They just care about beating. I'll tell you what you got to do. I want you to crank up Fight Song. If I were addressing a team, that moment is coming, starting at 2 o'clock. The road to Omaha, I'll tell you what, even a small boat in the ocean wants to be something greater. What does that mean?
I don't
tell you, they want to be something greater than what it. Put that in your book, Chuck.
I am.
Put it in there. Put it in the cookbook.
Even a small boat in the ocean wants to be something greater than what it is. And I tell you what, I mean, my cup is full. I tell you what, you competed all year long, 13 teams. It's been one heavyweight after one heavyweight you faced all year long. And you're 32-4 at home. You know what I do? You want to win this regional? You got to, you know, I did a little research on Mojo. Put this in your book, and Bo. It comes from the 20th century. It's a word from African American origin. It's an informal. It can mean several things, but mainly it's a charm, power, or ability. I'll tell you what is your mojo? It's your hitting, it's your pitching, it's your defense. And it's one of the best in the entire country. And that's on me on display. That's what you got to, I tell you what you got to do. Crank it up loud. You got to crank up your fight song. You know, I love the song. You know what I mean? Because it displays the ability in you. You got to come fight. Because, again, don't underestimate the Bison. Don't underestimate Kansas. Don't underestimate whoever you play. Creighton. Let's close this thing out. Let's get up. Let's bring that mojo. Hot mojo. I tell you what, that moment's going to come 2 o'clock. Will you bring your fight song, baby? Because if you do that, woo! We're on our way back to Omaha to compete for a national championship. How about that?
How about it, Eddie?
How about it, Eddie? Hey, Eddie, good stuff.
Thank you, Eddie.
Good stuff. Way to bring it. Thanks for the definition of mojo.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's the fight song he meant, Edward. I thought he meant the
actual
fight song.
I think that is what
you
he
think
meant.
he meant that or the Razorback fight
No,
song?
he would have said the fight song.
He has referenced that particular song before.
That song right there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
The song you just played. Play it again.
No, let's I'd rather we didn't.
Bart vetoed that in a hurry. Yes.
Oh, gosh, dang.
Eddie's screaming that at the top of his lungs going through the house this morning.
We're going to go back to the line at the hog pen, the Camp Hog Pen. What do we call that down there? We need to ask Jackson that when we go back.
Camp Jackson.
More people continue to show up, especially now that
we've gotten a photo.
The version of College Game Day
the word is
for
spreading.
Razorback fans. Yeah. The Chuck and Bo shows there.
People are just, right now they're gravitating towards Baum Walker Stadium because they know Jackson's there.
Well, you can feel the energy.
Well, free donuts.
You can feel the energy. And while they're bored out there, they might get on their Oaklawn Sports app and decide to pick Arkansas to win it all. They're the odds-on favorite.
I know.
Across the country, whatever site, national, local, whatever you want to go to win the College World Series.
That's right.
I don't know if that's ever happened before. I mean, historically, I just don't know.
I think Arkansas has been favored before heading into the postseason. Like maybe once or twice.
Okay, well, it's pretty rare, is what I'm saying.
Right.
Like, there
is a reason a team is favored to win.
A lot of people who know a lot of things think a lot of high High praise for the
Gamblers
Razorbacks.
always know. The gamblers always know. They do.
Vegas knows. Vegas knows.
That's gamblers is a broad term.
Well, fair enough. Vegas knows.
Which one?
Vegas knows.
Okay. If
the
you don't,
guys making the odds know.
If you don't have the Oaklawn Sports app, download it now in the Google Play Store, the Apple App Store. All kinds of stuff, action, futures, but current things, NBA, I watched 35 seconds of an NHL game last night. And remembered, like, hockey can be entertaining to watch.
See, I told you.
You can get on.
I mentioned it
I forget.
yesterday.
I forget. You're right. I was watching the Panthers. Did they end up winning?
They did, yes.
Good for them.
They're heading to the Stanley Cup final.
Good for them. I've been to a Panthers game, like way back.
How about that?
Way back when I lived in Florida.
Okay.
Yeah, back when they were
Invisible
starting.
strings.
Oaklawn Sports app. Download it today. New customers get up to $1,000 in bonus bets. Plus, check out the 10% profit boost for new and existing customers on qualifying three-leg parlays. The same game parlays earn a profit boost of up to 10%. Arkansas's best sports betting app. Bet with the brand you trust. Bet with Oaklawn Sports.
You can tell I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
I'm Dr. Scotty Bolding, a native Arkansan oral and maxillofacial surgeon. One of my goals is to make Arkansans healthier.
If you have sleep disorder breathing, it's important to treat it properly. The standard treatment's a breathing machine called CPAP. It helps you breathe during the night. However, there are other options thanks to some truly innovative and proven technologies.
Sleep is probably God's gift of medicine that we really don't utilize enough. If you have obstructive sleep apnea, it needs to be treated. So you need to be wearing your CPAP. So if you're not wearing your CPAP, there are some potential surgical solutions that can help you that actually work today. By correcting the jaw deformities that may be causing this obstructive sleep apnea is where we focus.
Dr. Bolding at Precedent Center for Facial and Dental Medicine works carefully with your sleep physician, determines where the underlying obstruction may be, and provides surgical solutions that open the airway, allowing you to breathe better.
Hey, give us a call, 479-755-3000, or log on to our website, precedent.com, PRECIDENT. We'd love to help.
Buying or selling a home's a big deal, and you want someone who is with you every step of the way. That's why those of us at the Chuck and Bo Show wholeheartedly recommend Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, because we've experienced it. They've been my partners for life. They're Bo's partner now, and I promise you, when you become involved with Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, they'll become your partners for life too. They've been turning houses into homes since 1978, and you can always log on and check out their selection at WeicherGriffin.com.
There's no better shopping experience than you're going to find at Macadoodles or at Guess Who in Bentonville. And every Wednesday is Wine Down Wednesday. 15% off every bottle of wine in the store, even if it's already on sale. But when it comes to selection, amazing prices, and unbeatable customer service, Macadoodles and Guess Who in Bentonville is second to none. Wine, beer, and spirits. Stock up for your next party or just stop by and grab your favorite. Macadoodles, just north of Bella Vista, and Guess Who in Bentonville.
There's nothing like a college football Saturday, a few beers, your phone, and Twitter.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
was just thinking this morning on the drive in, boy, it's going to be nice to see Chuck. And I don't usually think that.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
I was excited when I got up. Not to see you guys, but because I knew Jackson was going to go down to Baum-Walker Stadium.
You have been excited about it.
I have been excited about it. I like this kind of stuff.
Eddie gave us the speech he wanted to give the team. Here's the speech that we gave Jackson before he went out to do his first ever intern assignment. He's down with the people camping outside of Baum-Walker Stadium. Here's the speech we gave him about 5:30 this morning.
Now let's get started by letting me give you a little bit of a scenario of what my life is all about. First off, I am 35 years old, I am divorced, and I live in a van down by the river. Now you kids are probably saying to yourselves, hey, I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna get the world by the tail and wrap it around and pull it down and put it in my pocket. Well, I'm here to tell you that you're probably gonna find out as you go out there that you're not going to amount to jack squat.
So we sent Jackson
We recorded
on his
that.
way.
We recorded that in studio this morning.
You can imagine the way he charged out the door. He was fired up.
Yeah, he went out, and now we find him live at Baum-Walker Stadium outside of the hog pen on the sidewalk. Jackson, how's it going down there?
You know, it's just radiating with energy down here. I mean, we've got a ton of people down here. I heard the Aloy brothers, JT was out here yesterday. They were all out here. Big Country was out here yesterday. They were all out here talking and mingling amongst the folk.
So what did they do when you brought the donuts? Did everyone gravitate towards you? What happened there? Are there any left?
They were definitely excited. I think more people are going to definitely start showing up because of the donuts, but everyone that was here was very excited. They did start gravitating towards me.
How about the coffee? Has the coffee been a hit, or are people just...
It has been a hit.
Yeah.
They have been drinking it.
Anybody have any protein, or are they just going carbs this morning?
There's a few that have been eating the protein.
So now, are people going to stay there all day? Are they going to go to work? Or I mean, what's going on in that?
What have you learned?
Yeah, what have you learned today?
I've learned that these people are willing to give up everything and anything to get their front row seat for these games.
The job, family,
everything, huh?
That's what I've learned. I mean,
Investments.
we've got people camping out here that have done. I mean, they're doing work here. They're doing everything here.
Is there anyone new you can talk to? You had a couple of people
We can
on
talk
last
to Rick.
time. Yeah. Let's talk to Rick.
You talk to Rick.
Yeah. Take it away, Jackson. Take it away. It's all you.
All right, Rick. Are you excited for this regional?
I've been sleeping on a sidewalk by the hog pen.
Heck yeah, we're excited. What do you think this regional is going to bring for the state? What do you think the environment's going to be for this regional?
It's going to be off the chain, man. I mean, it's just going to be really loud. The hog pen's going to be packed. It's going to be even though it's a 2:00 game on Friday, it's going to be packed.
Jackson, ask him who he thinks is going to pitch the first game.
Who do you think is going to pitch the first game?
Maybe Root for a couple innings, and then Big Willie Mack coming in after.
Wow.
Well,
I don't know.
A knowledgeable fan.
Yeah, maybe a couple innings of Zach Root so he can pitch again later in the series.
Ask Rick if he's going to be in line today and tomorrow, or if he has someone that stands in line for him. How does that work?
Yeah, the hog pen etiquette is more or less, you got groups, and so people take shifts because, we got to go take showers, and some of us have to go to work for a little bit, because we actually do have jobs. We're not homeless, jobless. So, so we kind of take turns keeping our own spot. But like they said earlier, we're just a big family. We all know each other. There's like 12, 15 canopies up here, and everybody in those 12, 15 canopies, we all know each other because we go to games all the time together.
Rick, you go to softball games, you go to baseball games, you camp out there at Baum-Walker, you're a hog pen guy. Can you give us your view of being a Razorback fan? We all come from different spots. We all want Arkansas to win. But for somebody like you, it just seems like it's part of who you are. And I'm just interested to hear what it means to you.
Man, I'm 59. I'll be 60 in December. Big party, by the way. Y'all are invited. And,
Thank you.
It's been in my blood since I was born. I think 78, 77, 78 was when I really became a big fan, with the triplets and the Orange Bowl when with Holt. So it's ingrained in me. But, the first thing I thought of when you said that was there's a lot of dadgum heartbreak. Being a Razorback fan, it's like a CIA psyop that's trying to test how much heartbreak fans can handle.
Well, with that being said, are you enjoying the journey, or are you just there to see if they can get to Omaha and win the whole thing?
The whole 9 yards, man, I love the journey. I wouldn't go to this stuff if I didn't. I don't go to it just for the heck of it. I love it all, man. I mean, the players, the coaches, and all the other fans. I enjoy seeing everybody and meeting people, and like this fine young man you have working here for you, this Jackson, the intern guy. So
yeah, he's clearly made an impression. How's our boy doing down there?
Man, you guys gotta keep him, sign him. Don't let him get in the transfer portal, man, because he's been kicking butt and taking names.
Well, he's
down
asking
here,
for a
He's
lot.
doing a great job.
How many? You've camped out down there before, right?
Yes, sir.
How long you been doing this? Camping, camping outside Baum Stadium. How many years?
I'm not sure. 7, 8.
Wow. What's the craziest?
Honestly,
what's the craziest thing you've seen happen out there? Seriously, what's the craziest thing you've seen happen out there?
The John Doe that was sleeping in the cot doing the stuff that's going to get the DEA down here that kind of stuff's pretty crazy. But no, we have some interesting poker games at 2 o'clock in the morning.
There you
sometime.
go.
Oh yeah, that sounds like fun. It used to be all about Hog Park, right, where they had the RVs. This is a different way of doing it. So if you don't know, Rick's the guy that wears the wig and the was it visor, the red wig and the visor. You've gone viral.
Sadly.
Well, I mean, we can't control what happens on the internet.
Edward tells us it's all about the clicks. That's really all it's about.
Yeah.
So,
but those who know you will speak to your character.
Yeah, thank you.
Now, will you cook tonight? Will you do some cooking or later today? I mean.
Cooking or grilling?
Yeah, grilling.
Wait. I was understanding that Jackson's going to bring us lunch and dinner today.
Yeah,
Is that not correct?
but you're going to have to do for yourself, as far as the game goes.
I was told walk-ons might show up and, bring some sliders or something.
Yeah, we actually there's a couple times people bring grills and we cook out. I mean, I brought a grill a couple years ago, and me and my wife and son sat down here and his girlfriend and cooked steaks and had red wine, and we had a whole setup.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
Sounds like basically most people wait on the free food. They wait on people.
Well, you should. I mean, if you're going to do this, you earned it. And, well, Rick, thanks for letting Jackson come down there, and we hope y'all enjoy the breakfast. And
he's part of the family now.
Like, he can stay as long. Yeah, Jackson, stay as long as you want. Take some pictures. Bro, bring our 4 kolaches back. Never mind.
The food back.
Never mind. Get out of there.
You go back.
Hurry back. We're getting hungry. I forgot. Thanks, Scott. Jackson, you want to sign off? You got any closing comments as you file your first report live?
I would like to add a little story we heard about DVH today. We had John Doe that's on this air mattress over here. He told me a story about DVH. DVH the last year pulled up in his Raptor with his horn blaring and pulled up on the curb, scared him, hopped out, and with a laugh goes, "Did I scare you?"
That's a story.
And enjoyed a little hangout with the folk down here.
Now you just say, back to you.
Back to you guys.
All right, thanks, Jackson.
That's a great
That's
job.
Jackson, the intern, live at Bob
pretty
Walker.
good. First time out of the chute, man. He did all right.
I'd say he did great.
Yeah, he got off track a little bit in the last hour. I mean, that's all right.
I mean, I think he did great. We'll send him again, maybe tomorrow.
I think it's possible.
Maybe,
does he have a real job? Does he have a
tomorrow.
job?
He does.
Yeah.
Well, he can quit.
Yeah.
He's a working man.
Yeah, but everything's changed today. Everything's changed for him today.
Sam's Club's going to be sadly disappointed to lose him.
It's just it's how it goes, man.
We're brought to you in part by the #1 volume auto dealer in Northwest Arkansas. It's the Fayetteville Auto Park. You can get conversations like this at the auto park. Go in there and see our friends there. The thing about going there is you literally can just go in there and have a conversation.
You can.
And then you might
coffee.
have a cup of coffee, learn some things about the vehicles.
Walk out of there with a new truck.
It's the relationships, the trust they've built while they've been in business for 25 years. Top-tier service, award-winning service and collision departments. The Fayetteville Auto Park. Incredible deals on vehicles like Acura, Chevy, Honda, Toyota. A huge selection of pre-owned options too. Whatever you've got, whatever you're looking for, they've got. Check them out today, and you can drive with confidence at the Fayetteville Auto Park. It's 7:32. Good morning. You guys are part of my family. Everyone that listens to this show is just part of the Chuck and Bo family. We're building a community here.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Oaklawn is your hot springs escape. Enjoy plush comfort, upscale dining, and Arkansas's only Forbes 4-star rated spa at our luxury hotel. And with easy access to Hot Springs National Park and sparkling lakes, Oaklawn is your home base for everything the region has to offer. Come stay, play, and get away at Oaklawn, a Forbes Travel Guide recommended hotel. Make your reservation at oaklawn.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700.
If you haven't tried a flight by Yuengling, you're missing out on the great taste of Yuengling that is a light beer. It's the next generation of light beer. Get it on draft, in the can, the new skinny cans, and now the new 16-ounce resealable twist-off aluminum bottle. Perfect for any occasion. It's just 95 calories, and you're still enjoying a Yuengling. Take your beer game to new heights with Flight by Yuengling, the next generation of light beer. When is the last time you thought, oh, the SEC's making an announcement today, and it's going to be good for the Hogs?
The Chuck and Bo Show.
You're just going to have to go today. You're just going to have to. Today is going to be
what I
maybe
told myself.
one of those days you're just going to have to go, and you'll be glad you did.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
All right, the regional starts at 2 o'clock on Friday afternoon, Arkansas and North Dakota State. Jackson's been down there visiting with the people that make up the Hog Pen, the core of the Razorback baseball fan base. We took them donuts this morning. We might do it again tomorrow. I don't know. It's a long time between now and tomorrow.
Yeah.
We're like 1 minute at a time here.
We'll figure it out between now and then.
On the Chuck and Bo Show. I want to point out that Dew Thero is staying in the NBA draft.
Kind of knew that was going to happen.
We felt
or at
that.
least had a
We
hunch.
felt that. So what kind of team do you think you have? Just real quick, coming back from last year, you lost to Visic, Boogie Flan, and Thero. You got Carter Knox back. You got all these other guys back.
And
Here,
somehow
I'll
you're
give
going
you
to
the
be better.
rundown.
I think you're going to be better.
I think so. Let me give you the rundown.
All right.
Guys that are back: Brazil, Carter Knox, Billy Richmond, DJ Wagner. Guys that are coming in: Malik Ewan, Nick Pringle, two bigs that are transfers that I know the coaches are excited about. Freshman coming in: Darius Acuff, top 5 player. Malik Thomas, top 5 player. And 2 4-stars, Isaiah Sealy and Kareem Ratale. Which, I'm probably saying the name wrong. We'll get to that.
We'll get there.
Yeah. Kareem's coming in. So
Abdul-Jabbar.
So that's a salty roster. It feels like.
Here's what I like about that roster. It addresses why Arkansas was eliminated from the NCAA tournament last year, because they got beat on the glass. The other team just murdered them on the offensive glass. The roster addresses that. And Boogie's gone. There's a very capable replacement there. I wish Dew Thero had come back, but I equally wish him well, and hope it works out for him in the NBA. But I think that roster is a good roster to me, and I know that Acuff and Thomas came on board so long ago. It seems like now by the end of it, it's like, oh yeah, and there's Thomas and Acuff, but Ewan and Pringle, the two guys out of the portal. Those are the ones that address, again, what got them eliminated a year ago. And so I think the roster's better now than it was the year before.
I agree. I think it's one of the top rosters in the country. We'll obviously see how they come together and play, and they may not be entirely done. There could be
I don't know that they are.
One other guy they go get, but that's kind of what we've been waiting to see. The NBA deadline to withdraw from the draft was yesterday.
And there are a lot of good players from SEC schools that have decided to come back to college. We are seeing the very powerful effects of NIL in college basketball right now. I can remember when this first was announced, Matt Jones, quarterback Matt Jones, basketball player Matt Jones, said this is going to make kids stay in college. All these guys leaving early, it's going to make kids stay in college. I didn't think about it that much at the time, but he was spot on because Ladarius Philon, Otega Owe, Pettiford for Auburn, all those guys are coming back. Pre-NIL, not a single one of them sniffs college next year. They're all in the NBA, and so are all our guys too. So, college basketball, we can talk about, all the bad parts of the NIL, and there are some. But one thing it has done in college basketball is keep that talent pool. I mean, there's a lot of talent in college basketball right now.
Maybe fewer one-and-dones.
Well,
to
yeah.
To your point, because of the money. And will that change next year? This was a year where we're still kind of unregulated in the NIL. It'll be more regulated, we think, next year, but we don't know what all that's going to look like.
But it's not like
either.
these guys are going to be making peanuts next year.
No.
They're still going to be making really good money.
No, that's right. And so retention may continue at the rate that it has this year.
And don't think these good players aren't going to get use your noodle. They're going to get better NIL deals. They're going to have great NIL deals. And all this stuff, the revenue share, everybody's going to get paid. But your stars are still going to get big money.
I still can't
from
believe
NIL.
that Boogie got $10 billion to go to Florida.
It's incredible.
10 with a B. Billion.
It's just unbelievable.
Unprecedented.
It's,
Nobody wants to talk about
wild
it.
stuff.
Don't look over here.
I can't believe it's as underreported.
The
as
guy's
it
got
is.
like a moat with buried money in it around his new mansion in Gainesville. Congratulations.
Yeah. Hey, WT Equipment, guys.
And he can buy a tractor,
He
a
can buy
Bobcat,
as
whatever
many
you want, front end loader.
Tractors as he wants. and you need a good tractor when you're in Gainesville, Florida. That's
Absolutely.
for sure.
You might have to go over to Ocala.
WT Equipment. Yeah, that's right. WT Equipment is that's our spot. If that's what you're doing here, that's the name you need to remember. Williams Tractors, how I knew him for years and years and years in Northwest Arkansas. WT Equipment is the name you need to remember now. Whether you're running a farm, managing a job site, or just taking care of your own stuff, WT Equipment has the tools to get it done. And I'm talking real brands, trusted brands, New Holland, Hustler, Steel, Bobcat, and expert staff. They're going to help you find exactly what you need, and their commitment to service runs deep, just like their Arkansas roots. So if you're looking for dependable equipment and folks who treat you like family, stop by your nearest WT Equipment location or visit WTEquip.com.
They'll talk Razorbacks with you.
They will.
Or anything else. You can go in there and have a cup of coffee. It's like having a local coffee spot that you go to in the mornings if you just want to go in there and chit chat or over lunch. Highs in the upper 70s, maybe even into the 80s in the state today.
It's warming up.
And the rain chances are back.
It'll be cooler in the northwest portion of the state.
Warmer in the south. Funny how that works.
Yeah, it does. I've never heard that.
Okay, when's it going to stop raining next time?
Never.
Ever?
No, we're just.
The weather forecast for the weekend.
It was
okay?
nearly shocking to me yesterday when I reached for my sunglasses in the truck for the first time in what felt like years.
The weather is supposed to be good this weekend.
Sunny
for the
Friday,
regional.
high of 74. Sunny Saturday, high of 79. Sunny Sunday, high of 83. This thing's driving me nuts.
Well, we need to take care of that. Okay. You got a mess over there.
I know I do.
You got a hot mess over there. That thing's been falling apart for weeks, and now it's down to the point where it might just fall off on the air.
I tightened it up the other day too.
Well, he's got a bracket loose.
Yeah, I see.
Can WT Equipment fix that?
We'll deal with it.
Is that a front end loader situation?
WD-40.
Is that a backhoe we need to kind of just? Can somebody
Part
help
of it's
Chuck
me.
out?
Part of it's me. I understand that. I can, part of it's on.
You're so calm, and then you're not. This thing.
One wild swing to another. Kind of like Bart.
It's 7:45. It's Thursday. Good morning. He's Chuck Barrett.
He's Bo Mattingly.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
With rainy season here and summer just around the corner, make sure your gutters are ready. Hogcroft Gutters, locally owned with over 30 years of experience, does it all. Seamless gutters made on site, trenching and French drain. Fully licensed and insured with a 20-year warranty on every job. Serving Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley. And if you're outside those areas, just give them a call or a text. And for a free inspection, visit hoggutters.com. That's hoggutters.com.
Hey, want to fly like a VIP? With Jet Aircraft, you skip the TSA lines, skip baggage claim, and fly on your schedule. The plane doesn't leave until you get there. You enjoy a full bar and food service for up to 9 passengers and plenty of room for luggage. Wherever you need to fly to or from, whether it's a special trip to the College World Series or golfing with buddies, round up your crew, split the cost, and fly private. Also, ask about the Jet card. Visit jetnwa.com. That's Jet with 2 T's.
Hey, it's moms, dads, and grad season at Splash Car Wash, and they're running a special offer just for listeners of the Chuck and Bo Show. Right now, buy one best car wash and get 2 free. One for mom, one for dad, one for your favorite grad, or just keep one for yourself. We won't tell, because we know how good it feels to drive a clean car. Triple the shine with 3 car washes for only $27. Text Splash Arkansas to 22322 for the link to access this exclusive online offer.
Arkansas's one-stop automotive shop is right around the corner. Fayetteville Auto Park. FayettevilleAutoPark.com. Chevy, Toyota, Honda, Acura, Collision Center, all in one place. And if you're shopping pre-owned, Fayetteville Auto Part has you covered. With so many new cars sold, we always have a great selection of fresh trades. Why settle for anything less than the best? Fayetteville Auto Park, West Showroom Drive in Fayetteville. Proud sponsor of the Chuck and Bo Show.
Hey, it's Bo Mattingly, and McDonald Eye Associates is my one-stop for any vision need. The progressives they have me in are a game changer, and my new sunglasses are going to be great for baseball season. McDonald Eye was the first practice in the state to perform LASIK, and they have the most experience. They also have the new vision correction options for all ages, including cataract and clear lens replacement to see your best from all distances. For your best vision, McDonald Eye is the place to go.
If you've been hurt in a car wreck, if you're struggling to get your Social Security disability, or you're buried in debt thinking about bankruptcy, don't wait. You need a legal team that knows how to fight for Arkansans.
That's why you can trust Cadell Reynolds. Bill Reynolds and his team know how to get results when it matters most. Whether it's personal injury, disability, or bankruptcy, they've got your back.
Dial 866-314-3728 or visit CadellReynolds.com today.
Cadell Reynolds. Make the right call.
Yeah, does Chuck sleep that much? Because it just sometimes...
He's old, so when you get old, you don't really sleep as much.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
You know, it wouldn't be so painful if I wasn't so smart. I wish I was dumb like everyone else. Wouldn't it be great if I were just dumber?
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Well, it's good.
That was pretty good. Thank you for those kolaches, Jackson. Jackson's back.
You are so welcome.
Full report. How was it? You did great, by the way.
It was incredible, and thank you.
Spicy.
What was the highlight?
The highlight was getting a $5 bill from...
He got tipped?
I got tipped.
You got a tip?
I got a tip.
By whom?
By an older gentleman who was driving a truck.
Yeah?
He showed up in the middle of the street and said, "Here you go, Jackson. Here's $5," and sped off.
Wow.
I didn't even get to catch his name.
I've never heard of anyone getting a tip.
It was not Sam Pittman.
Was it Dave Van Horn?
It might have been. I didn't get a good look at them. They sped off too fast.
Yeah.
Although, I mean, from the story, the other guy, John Doe, DVH apparently collects Ford Raptors.
Oh. Well,
you learn a lot about people when you hang out outside the ballpark.
That's right. You just hang around out there by the hog pen. You find out a lot of things. You also were telling us a moment ago that there was an interesting sleeping situation.
Yeah, I felt really bad when I showed up because there was a guy on a CPAP machine. I mean, he was dead asleep, and I felt so bad because I felt.
Somebody's got
Did you shake him? Ask him if he was alive?
I should have. I didn't get the chance to. I didn't want to.
CPAP machine outside the stadium.
It was commitment.
That guy wants to be there.
He wants that front row spot.
We got to send him to President. Send him to President. Facial and dental medicine. Dr. Scotty Bolden can help him.
He can make a call out there.
Yeah, he might be able to perform a procedure where he no longer needs a CPAP machine.
Outside
As you've
the
heard us
stadium.
talk right there.
Do it right there on the
Don't
spot.
even have to leave the hog pen.
No.
That's a mobile medical business for people that just need to get stuff done while waiting in line. It's not a bad idea, for a certain part of the crowd. You can get your nails done.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, just think about it.
No, you're right.
Think about it.
No, it's very true.
Because when you're out there, you're out there for many hours. You got a lot of time, and you can knock things out. That's why people take their computers and they work from there.
Were they happy to see you, Jackson? Were you welcomed with open arms?
I was definitely welcomed. I mean, I don't know if they were awake to hear us saying that we were bringing donuts, but as soon as they saw the donuts, I mean, they gravitated towards me.
People started, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
People started getting up, started waking up.
Exactly.
Getting up. Yeah.
They knew that
Smelled
Chuck
the
and
coffee.
Bo had brought them donuts.
Yeah.
I did get some questions about where Bo is.
Well,
I got a few
Yeah.
questions about where Bo is.
What'd you say?
I said,
how'd you play that?
He really wanted to come.
Yeah. How'd you
But
play
they needed
that?
a producer.
Chuck wouldn't let him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chuck's fault.
Yeah.
You know how Chuck is.
Bart, the actual producer of the show. I mean, we let Bart think he's the producer of the show. Yeah. The actual producer of the show said he thought it'd be more entertaining if you went alone.
More organic. I think organic was the term that was used.
Eventually, I used that word.
Yeah.
Bart used it. It'd be
That's a Bo
it'd
word.
be funnier.
Hey, who in the group uses the word organic? Oh, that would be Bo.
Bo's full of these awful words like authentic, genuine,
Murph,
wholesome.
Where do these ideas come
Fascinating.
from? Where do these ideas
jackwagon?
come from?
Who's this guy?
You really did a good job, though.
You did.
First
You
time
did.
out of the gate.
Thank you so much.
What are you doing tomorrow?
Tomorrow I have to go to work full time for Sam's Club, but if
They
you guys
paying
could-
you?
They are paying me $16 an hour.
More than $5?
More than $5.
All right.
But if you guys call my manager, I'll happily get off.
Well, we might do that. Yeah, leave his number.
Yeah.
We got a lot of things to talk to him about.
You just plan on being at the ballpark. early
Brandon
tomorrow.
Marcelo, CBS Sports, is coming up next from the SEC meetings in Sandestin. It's almost 8 o'clock on the Chuck and Bo Show.
First Security is about more than great banking. Yes, we provide the financial expertise, digital tools, and everything else you need when you need it. But we also go all in on local support with friendly professionals, plus convenient locations all across the state. Because we believe personal banking is better banking. Visit fsbank.com for details. That's fsbank.com for friendly local banking with First Security. Bank better. Member FDIC.
Some moments just call for something unforgettable. At Blakeman's, you don't just buy a diamond. You create an unforgettable experience. Their newly remodeled space is stunning with Cafe B right inside and their in-house diamond expert that'll help you find the perfect piece every time. That's just part of the Blakeman's experience. When you see the purple bag, you know it's something special. It always saves the day. Blakeman's Fine Jewelry. It's more than jewelry. It's your story.
Chevy of Fayetteville is kicking off end-of-the-year savings this May. Drive home a new 2025 Chevy Silverado starting at just $34,000. Get up to $6,000 off MSRP on a new 2025 Tahoe or Colorado. And up to $13,000 off a new 2025 Crew Cab Silverado. Don't miss these huge savings. Only at Chevy of Fayetteville. Together, let's drive.
Guys, regardless of our age, feeling good is something we all want. That's what the Sweat No Edge is all about. It's where health, confidence and peak performance come together. We all face challenges like low energy, hair loss, who's looking at me, stubborn weight, and skin health. The good news is we can do something about it. Get your free evaluation today and see where you are. Chuck and I have both done it and are better off for it. Log on to sweatnumcosmetic.com and click on the Sweatnum Edge. Why don't you just kind of style it up a little bit at the game? Let's get your drip going.
Hey, I got a lot more drip than you think.
The Chuck and Bo Show. Previously heard on Chuck and Bo.
These people that talk about pressure's part of life. How many of you go to work every day and there's 11,000 people screaming at you while you're trying to fill out that form? I mean, give me a break. Go to work tomorrow and let's bring 11,000 people with you to scream at you and say, Doug, you're not any good. You're great Monday through Thursday, but on Friday, you're always terrible. I mean, let's see how you do that day. Come on.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
I would resist the urge to drink this morning.
Stop. I'm done.
You said a lot of good things there.
Well, I don't know if I said one good thing.
I met a guy last night. Love y'all to death, Jeff.
You mind if I share?
I'm looking forward to it.
The show of record for Razorback fans.
I'm in my Sunday school, and first thing he says when we hop in the car, he says, "Let's turn on the Chuck and Bo Show."
It's too early for this kind of conversation. I'm still half asleep.
Here are your hosts, Chuck Barrett and Bo Mattingly.
Well, there's been so many things happening in the Sandestin Hilton, right there along the beach, from the SEC meetings for the presidents and the ADs and some football coaches,
the beautiful
basketball
people.
coaches.
They're all gathered.
Bunch of quarter zips because it's so stinking cold inside the meeting rooms. There's so much happening, so much information coming out. It's hard to zero in on what to even talk about.
It really is this week.
And Brandon Marcelo is there for CBS Sports, 24/7 Sports, and kind enough to join us on the Chuck and Bo Show. Brandon, from the area, has had a great career covering college athletics nationally now, and kind enough to make time for us when he's not doing some big national show. Brandon, good morning.
Good morning, Bo. Morning, Chuck.
Glad to have you on, man.
Brandon, how are things in down there in Sandestin?
Confusing, feisty, warm, cold, hot, cold. It's just weird. No one can figure out what's going on.
What are your take? Like, how do you summarize? What do you think the most important thing or the most interesting thing for you that we've heard or seen so far is?
That the coaches here are just not on the same page as the administrators with the college football playoff format, and also really with whether to move from 8 games to 9 games. The ACC and Big 12 have made it very clear, even from our reporting, and we broke this, I think, last week, that the ACC and Big 12 have proposed that they want this 5+11 college football playoff format moving forward, and they believe that's what's best for college football. Meanwhile, SEC administrators have long been tied to the Big Ten in their wanting of a different format, which would be 4 automatic qualifiers for the Big Ten and SEC, 2 for the Big 12 and ACC moving forward. But what's interesting here is that the coaches say, hey, that 5+11 format looks pretty cool. Why don't we do that? And now the ADs are like, oh, boy, now we got to talk to our coaches and try to figure out if this is something they really want. Is it something the SEC really wants? And this is all tied to whether the SEC moves from 8 games to 9 games in football, because the belief is that unless they go to 4 automatic qualifiers in the college football playoff format, the SEC is probably not going to move to 9 games. And so you've got this kind of internal struggle right now that's just popped up in recent days, and it's such a concern that the Big Ten's athletic directors all kind of got together yesterday over Zoom and had a call going, hey, what's going on in the SEC right now? We thought they were on board with our idea with the 4 automatic qualifiers. It's going to be a fascinating next few months, because I think this thing's going to drag out for both the SEC and everybody else when it comes to the playoff format, and also just the SEC scheduling with whether to go to from 8 games to 9 games.
Well, it's interesting. When you talk about the number of conference games, you affect every single team in the league. When you talk about who's getting in the playoff, you eliminate about half the league, because most years half the league's not really contending for the playoff. You might jump up there every once in a while, but that issue of how many games, how many conference games you play affects everyone. And for people who struggle to win 6-8 games a year, their jobs are on the line. So making it a more difficult schedule is not advantageous for any of those people. But before we go there, or if we go there at all, let me explain the 5+11 format.
Exactly.
I think most people understand when you talk about, hey, if we do this playoff format, the Big Ten's going to automatically get 4 teams, their top 4 teams in. The SEC is automatically going to get their top 4 in. ACC 2, Big 12 2. What's the 5+11 format?
Yeah, 5+11 is going to be the 5 highest-ranked conference champions get a spot in automatically. And then the next 11 are all at-large selections, which makes it probably actually more advantageous for the SEC to get more teams in. When you look at the top 16 rankings over the years, I mean, there's some years the SEC could get 6 in there. But the ACC and Big 12 want that 5+11 because they believe that they would get more teams in, which is probably true as well if you look through the history of everything. In fact, I think the ACC would have gotten 3 teams in last year as a result of that. So it's something that could be advantageous really for everybody. But the issue here really, I believe, the reason why the SEC and Big Ten administrators have wanted this 4 automatic qualifier format instead is that it provides you the opportunity to create play-in playoff games. So by that I mean on SEC championship weekend, you'd be able to take the number 3 team in the SEC against the number 6 team in the SEC and the number 4 team against the number 5 team, and the winner of those games get your automatic spots in the playoff in addition to your number 1 and number 2 teams. So it allows more teams in the SEC to kind of be in the running for an automatic berth. If you finish 6th in the standings of the regular season, you're going to be playing for a playoff spot. Also, it allows the SEC to create new inventory for their broadcast partner, ESPN, which they can sell to them, which they can make more money on. And, of course, the home teams for those games are going to make more money as well. And, again, in this era, money is everything. Everybody's looking for as much money as they can, and that's really enticing to the SEC administrators right now.
And that's the 4-4 plan that you're talking about there.
Correct. Yep.
You know, Brandon, to me, it's interesting that we're trying to come to some sort of conclusion, and I guess this is a lot of life, but it's really playing out pretty obviously here, when so many people have varying interests. And it's hard to get those interests aligned. And Greg Sankey basically said as much on Feinbaum yesterday, that coming to a unanimous decision, everybody being on the same page, and forcing that to happen, like there's got to be a unanimous approval vote, is a bad idea. Because then you have compromises to appease people that may actually take away from what's really good for most people or the game. And I think we continue to have this problem where we have haves and have-nots, even within the SEC, but certainly with some of these power conferences and the rest of college football. But even within the league, what's good for Georgia and LSU and Alabama, all the teams that have won SEC titles, what's good for them isn't necessarily good for Missouri or Arkansas or Mississippi State or Ole Miss.
No, you're exactly right. And then, listen, you had Brian Kelly yesterday come out of the meeting rooms going that he speaks for all coaches and saying that they want to schedule an agreement with the Big Ten to start playing one Big Ten game every year in the SEC. And then you had other coaches come out there going, whoa, 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 whoa. I didn't say I necessarily wanted that. Why is Brian Kelly speaking for me? A lot of coaches, including Sam Pittman in Arkansas, said, I would like that, but I would like it to be if we stay with 8 conference games instead of playing 9 conference games plus a Big Ten non-conference opponent. You know, I wrote late last night for CBS Sports that these spring meetings the last 3 years have turned in more into an event that is a giant thought exercise rather than a place where decisions are made. This used to be a place where you come here and they would vote on things, make a decision, and stick with it. But these last 3 years, we have discussed whether the SEC is going to go from 8 games to 9 games in the conference every year. And as I wrote, 2 years ago here, Greg Sankey was exasperated after discussions and said, we need to we need to stop circling the airport and land this airplane on the scheduling idea. And guess what? We're 2 years here later, still having the same discussion, but for different reasons. Now it's all based off what's the college football playoff format going to be. You know, before it was how much more money we're going to get if we get that. What's our strength of schedule going to look like? Do I want to pick up another loss on my schedule? And now the administrators are more focused on, does it coincide with the CFP format that we want, and are we going to get more money with it? It's incredible just how everything gets stretched out to the 11th hour these days, and you rarely see any decisions here. And my last thing on this really is we're hitting a deadline here. The CFP format for 26 and beyond has to be decided by December 1st, right? Well, with the SEC scheduling format, their kind of soft deadline is before that. The ADs want to get this done before they're heavily involved in the football season coming up. So the SEC might be forced to make a decision on their scheduling before ever knowing what this CFP format is going to look like. And that's their worst nightmare right now, because I think the administrators, the athletic directors, believe that they had this thing in the bag with going to 4 AQs in the college football playoff, because that's what they've been talking about amongst themselves and with the other ADs in the Big Ten. They didn't quite pass this along to their coaches all that well, and now the coaches are like, why are we doing that? Let's go 5-11. It's turned into a mess.
Well, and as you said at the beginning and said again right there, I mean, there is a strong difference of opinion between the coaches and the administrators in both leagues. So who wins the argument? What do you think what do you think it looks like at the end?
The bosses will make the decision, like always, right? I mean, we rarely get to tell the boss what to do, and I think the administrators will end up winning out on this, as they kind of always do. I do think that it won't happen immediately now, as I thought it was going to here over the next couple of weeks. I think they'll stretch this out, continue to provide more data to the coaches, try to convince them a little bit more, let this all calm down, this kind of dissension, and then they'll end up making a decision there in the fall. And I think with the college football playoff format, that's going to be fascinating, because I think that thing might go all the way down to the deadline on December 1st.
You know, you said something there that sparked a thought with me. The SEC is very image conscious, and I'm not being critical when I say that. You talked about giving the coaches more information. It would seem like if this all settles in the manner the coaches are against, I mean, they're the ones that are going to be speaking out on it. I mean, nobody cares what the AD has to say if the coach feels a different way. I mean, is there some PR, for lack of a better way to put it, at play here too?
Oh, yeah, certainly. I think this will die down a little bit, and they'll kind of leave the headlines. And then you'll hear maybe on a random Tuesday, hey, we've decided to go from 8 games to 9 games. Yeah, I think there is. And, in fact, you've seen that even here in some other aspects. When we talk about the college football playoff committee, the SEC's been very critical of the selection process, the selection criteria. And you've heard the Florida athletics director come out saying, why do we even have a selection committee? And every other AD we've spoken to here and coaches talked about, we wonder what the committee really thinks of strength of schedule. That's certainly become a talking point within the SEC, whereas in some other conferences that is not necessarily the case. So everybody's kind of got their talking points, not necessarily because they've been told that, but because that's what's being discussed on not just here, but also on conference calls they're having weekly throughout the SEC. There's a certain narrative that everybody's talking about and trying to steer their own decision.
Brandon, one more for me. I've seen so many sound bites, 6-minute clips, 5-minute clips, 3-minute clips of Greg Sankey. I think I've watched most of them. We have a text here saying that they heard Sankey on a national radio show. Someone played a clip of him saying, why does college football even need the NCAA? John Kruk last night calling a baseball game said he read that the SEC was going to go off and start their own thing. Are we anywhere near the Big Ten, SEC, any of that kind of separating when it comes to college football from the NCAA?
I think we're closer than ever. It's not imminent. But, with this new organization they're forming to oversee the house settlement terms, which, by goodness, I hope that thing finally gets approved. I'm reloading Pacer, which is where you get all these court documents, every day, and every time I refresh it, it costs my company 20 cents. So they better get it done. But, I think that it could happen. I'm not eliminating that possibility at all. But they're so concerned with getting all this house settlement stuff done. I think that's maybe a year or two down the road where maybe they even have those type of discussions. But because of this new organization they're creating, a lot of the regulation and rules are going to be governed by the power conferences now with this new organization, the College Sports Commission they're forming. So they've already don't have to deal with the NCAA when it comes to championship events for football. That's handled by the CFP. And guess who controls the CFP now moving forward? The Big Ten and SEC. So I think the SEC has got almost like the best of both worlds. They can be part of the NCAA, get to let them handle championship events outside of football, get their big paydays, allow them to help with lawyer fees and stuff like that when everybody's being taken to court, and then they get to handle everything on their own when it comes to CFP and football. But, we'll see. It's something that the athletic directors here are open to, and certainly Greg Sankey seems to as well.
When you were a young, aspiring sports writer, is this what you envisioned as your job, or did you think you were going to be like going to games?
Oh my gosh, no! I just thought, man, I get to share amazing stories of kids overcoming all kinds of bad things and good things in their lives to triumph and do things that seem not possible humanly. And here I am talking about courtrooms and people in suits.
20 cents a refresh.
It's wild. Reviewing court documents. That's what the dream of every sports writer and sportscaster. Brandon, thanks, man. You're doing an incredible job.
Great job.
It's hard, and it's a ton of information, and you've done a great job of summarizing it for us.
He's made more sense in 15 minutes than I've been able to come.
I'm telling you.
He has.
I really appreciate it.
I appreciate you guys, and I can't wait to come home and watch some baseball. That's all I care about.
I feel that. We'll see you soon, man. Thanks a bunch.
See you guys.
All right, that's Brandon Marcelo, CBS Sports, 24/7 Sports, lives in Northwest Arkansas and is covering the chaos of college athletics. Bart, what are we watching? What to Watch is brought to you by Macadoodles, the best assortment of beer, wine, and spirits that you'll get anywhere, and a level of service that is unmatched. Wednesdays is Wine Down Wednesday, 15% off every bottle of wine in the store. They've got wine tasting open to close 7 days a week, spirit tasting on the weekends. You'll find Macadoodles just north of the state line, north of Bella Vista, and at Guess Who in Bentonville. What are we watching, and what are we going to Macadoodles to get our watch party for?
Well, obviously, we've got the baseball regional this weekend. Arkansas opening against North Dakota State at 2 o'clock tomorrow. That is on ESPN+. That does require a subscription. Make sure you're signed up for the proper thing to be able to watch Arkansas.
Or go to like a walk-ons.
Or go someplace.
Where they'll air the game.
Or go someplace. Or go to the game. There are plenty of options. Tonight, Chuck's Knicks trying to stay alive. Trying to stave
when the comeback begins
off
tonight.
elimination.
When the comeback begins tonight.
Knicks and Pacers, 7 o'clock. That is available on TNT, True TV, or streaming on Max.
It's Thursday. Are we good? Are we got anything else?
Well, there's a hockey game tonight, too, on ESPN.
There you go.
Edmonton trying to close out the Dallas Stars. A lot of Stars fans in our part of the country.
Name 5.
We're full service on What to Watch here.
Jackson won.
Joking.
I don't know that I could. I just know that they exist.
It's 8:20 Thursday morning on the Chuck and Bo Show. Kids, there's never a good deal good enough with a bad person. Still a bad deal.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Buying or selling a home's a big deal, and you want someone who is with you every step of the way. That's why those of us at the Chuck and Bo Show wholeheartedly recommend Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, because we've experienced it. They've been my partners for life. They're Bo's partner now, and I promise you, when you become involved with Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, they'll become your partners for life, too. They've been turning houses into homes since 1978, and you can always log on and check out their selection at WeicherGriffin.com.
Hey, want to fly like a VIP? With Jet Aircraft, you skip the TSA lines, skip baggage claim, and fly on your schedule. The plane doesn't leave until you get there. You enjoy a full bar and food service for up to 9 passengers and plenty of room for luggage. Wherever you need to fly to or from, whether it's a special trip to the College World Series or golfing with buddies, round up your crew, split the cost, and fly private. Also, ask about the Jet card. Visit jetnwa.com. That's Jet with 2 T's.
We never thought much about power outages until we had one during the worst possible time. As a busy mom, there are plenty of challenges in a day. But with Paschal, power outages don't have to be one of them. A whole home generator installed by the pros at Paschal gave me back my peace of mind. The process was easy and understandable. Now, I don't have to worry about losing power when storms arrive. Get a free estimate today and keep the power on with a whole home generator from Paschal. Professional people, professional service. Paschal Air, Plumbing, and Electric.
If you haven't tried a flight by Yuengling, you're missing out on the great taste of Yuengling that is a light beer. It's the next generation of light beer. Get it on draft, in the can, the new skinny cans, and now the new 16-ounce resealable twist-off aluminum bottle. Perfect for any occasion. It's just 95 calories, and you're still enjoying a Yuengling. Take your beer game to new heights with Flight by Yuengling, the next generation of light beer.
You know, I want Texas to lose. Yeah, I want them to rot in hell.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
We have a very strict goofing off policy around here. We're all for it.
Well, a certain amount's required. It's in our contract.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
If you're Arkansas and you're at the SEC meetings, Chuck, your Hunter Yurchek, your Sam Pittman, what are you doing? What are you doing right now? You're kind of
enjoying a nice breakfast,
raising your hand like, hey.
Well, I don't know. You've been. What do they do at 8:25 on Thursday morning?
Well, I've told this story before. I don't remember if I've told it recently on the show, but what I did is I would go early and wait for coaches to, get ready to go to their meetings. And you're there a couple days. Maybe you talk to one of them or two of them about doing an interview. Sometimes they come out of a meeting in the afternoon, they do one. But I was there early. Maybe it was a Wednesday morning that week. And I'm in the lobby, and there's an ATM machine over here to my left. And Will Muschamp had just, I think, became the head coach of the Gators at Florida. And he went to the ATM machine. I mean, this guy's making, $3-4 million a year. So me watching him go to the ATM machine, I've never watched somebody that's, a multimillionaire go to an ATM machine. So I was just fascinated. But what was really fascinating is how long he stood there and looked at the receipt printout.
He'd never had to do it before. He'd always had someone do it for him.
Stood there and looked at it, and I wanted to know so bad what his balance was.
Yeah. He tossed it in the trash and you went over there and grabbed it.
He did not. Or believe me, I would have. That's the stuff people do. Take a picture of it and post it on social media. Check out Will Muschamp's bank account. But it is an interesting setup because how often do you go to a place where you have access to, like Brandon does, where you're watching every football and basketball coach come in and out of meetings, and they stop and talk to you a little bit, and then on Tuesday they actually have a reception that if you're credentialed and invited by the SEC and you're allowed to be there, you get invited to this reception out on the veranda, out on the deck where you're overlooking the golf, and you're walking around, and here's Cal, and there's Mark Pope, and over there's Saban, or in Bart's case, Brian Kelly.
Yeah.
Like Bart would be able to walk up to Brian Kelly with like a Tito soda and a lime in his hand and be like, "Hey Brian, you're an idiot."
Yeah, what would you say to him?
And then Bart would be
what would you say
uninvited.
to him?
By the way, I feel vindicated after having
Brandon
on.
Marcelo, basically. He's on your team.
What is it about Brian Kelly that does bring? I really believe Brian Kelly is a good coach. He's proven that over the years. What is it that makes him so polarizing?
Why do you not like him, Bart?
I think he's just not a likable person, man.
But why?
But he's not. Is he a bad person? Have you heard stories of him being like a bad guy?
I mean, he doesn't seem like
there was the
greatest
whole.
guy in the world.
But there's something that comes out about every coach. Every coach is. Give me that again.
He's trying.
Here with my family.
Listen to him try. Listen to him try.
That sounds like a 1974 recording from a speech outside of a town hall.
Family.
Bang!
It's the best audio I could source from it.
Yeah, well, that's good audio.
But I mean, it does sound. It sounds old. Sounds
worn out.
I think it was
30
somebody recording with their
years
phone
ago.
on their laptop. I couldn't find the actual original.
I don't know.
source.
I just don't know what. I don't necessarily. I get
Because
it.
there are lots of people that don't like him.
Smarmy.
They're not
He's
the only
smarmy.
one.
He's smarmy.
Oh, well.
What does that mean?
He's just
For those of us that don't,
he's just unlikable. He's like
smarmy.
The way he acts, the way he talks, the things he says, like
the air he breathes, the space he
air,
occupies,
like just the arrogance,
clothes he wears,
like it's just
the way he smells,
It's
everything about
just-
him, huh?
Which LSU coach has been your favorite over the years?
Ed Ogeron, beyond the shadow of a doubt.
He turned into just.
How is it anybody other than Coach O? Like,
I got a Hummer. You want a Hummer? I got a Hummer. Come down to Johnny's Hummer.
We need
Get a
Coach
Hummer.
O back in the league.
Remember when
He
he did
doesn't
the
need to be a
Hummer
head
commercial?
coach. We just need him
At Ole Miss?
around. I want Coach O around.
He needs
again.
to work for the SEC network. There you go, Bart. You need to have Coach O. Break it down with Coach O.
That'd be great. That'd be great.
I'd watch.
What Coach O really needs is a podcast.
Yeah.
What is he doing now?
That's
your favorite. What did you think of Les Miles when he was there?
I mean, I don't have anything against Les Miles.
Is Brian Kelly your least
What
favorite
about Will
LSU
Wade?
coach
What about
of all
Will
time?
Wade?
Yeah,
Did you
that's a
like
good
Will
one.
Wade?
No, I really dislike
Nobody
Will
can
Wade.
stand with their hips on their rib cage like Will
I
Wade.
really
He's got the
dislike
most
Will Wade.
He looks
interesting
like he-
posture on the sideline.
Yeah, I mean,
like, how does he get his hands up there?
It's like he
and
needs to
stand
be
there?
selling clothes at a department store sometimes when you look at. He doesn't look like a basketball
Shoes at
coach.
Kenny's.
Yeah, he's like a shoe salesman. Very
Coach
rich
O is apparently just enjoying retirement. That's
and $35 million or whatever.
yeah, and a lot of money.
By the way, just a quick reminder: Gus Malzahn's the offensive coordinator at Florida State.
He is, as a matter of fact.
Did you forget that?
Yeah, I did actually.
It's weird. That is a weird thing to say out loud.
Yeah.
I read an
Left a
article
head
about
coaching
that
job.
yesterday or the day before, saying that he was there because they wanted to change their culture, and that Gus was. I mean, he's obviously a good offensive mind, but that they wanted a little bit of a culture change there, whatever that means.
It means that Mike Norvell had a really rough year and he had to make some moves. And so that's what you do. You go make a move like that.
It's a Hail Mary situation.
By the way, I saw on social media, so I want to send a shout out to Gus and Christy Malzahn. Happy 37th anniversary, I believe. So congratulations. Yeah.
Good for them.
Yeah, for real. That's pretty strong. Maybe they should celebrate at Blakeman's. That's where you mark occasions like that. Gus, if you want some help, call me. I'll get you a purple bag and send it to you. You can tell me what to put in there. They've got the best diamonds, so they got their own diamond expert on site. It's where Arkansas gets engaged, but they've got all of the things that you could imagine at a place like that in a store that is unrivaled in our state. It's like you're in a massive city. 8,500 square feet, that new showroom, their own coffee bar in there, Onyx Coffee. It's about the experience. It's not just about the jewelry. You're going to get that, and you're going to put it in that purple bag, and it's going to save the day or make the day. But at Blakeman's Fine Jewelry, it's more than jewelry. It's your story. It's your journey. It's your moments. When we come back, there's another update on the stadium rights situation, the naming of the football stadium on the Arkansas campus. If you could name the stadium, what would you name it? We've done this briefly before, but with there being an update, I feel like we can come back to it. I would like to personally cross Maverick off the list. But beyond that,
where the adventure begins.
8:32, good morning.
The Razorback Adventure.
I don't need Chat GTP. I've got Chuck GTP.
Amen.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Are you looking for tough, reliable equipment from people you can trust? WT Equipment is your local family-owned dealership with 8 locations across Arkansas. And yep, they're big-time hog fans too. From Bobcat to New Holland, Hustler, Steel, and more, they carry the brands you know and trust to get the job done. Whether it's equipment or implements, WT Equipment has the tools you need, including a full lineup of Bobcat machines built for power and performance. Stop by your nearest WT Equipment today.
Hey, it's moms, dads, and grad season at Splash Car Wash, and they're running a special offer just for listeners of the Chuck and Bo Show. Right now, buy one Best car wash and get 2 free. One for mom, one for dad, one for your favorite grad, or just keep one for yourself. We won't tell, because we know how good it feels to drive a clean car. Triple the shine with 3 car washes for only $27. Text Splash Arkansas to 22322 for the link to access this exclusive online offer. There's nothing we enjoy saying more than I told you so.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
The only difference between me and Scotty Scheffler, just so we're clear, there's only one difference, is when it starts going south for me, like it was for him, I just keep going south.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Hey, if you're thinking about a trip, maybe to Omaha to watch Arkansas play the College World Series, you've heard us talk about jet aircraft. If you want to fly like a VIP, you pull right up to the plane. They don't leave until you get there. U.S., Mexico, Canada, Caribbean, wherever you want to go, you can skip the TSA lines and have the trip of a lifetime, a trip to remember, and it is one of convenience with a plane that is fully loaded with catering options, a full bar, up to 9 people, and plenty of luggage. You can get a group together, maybe go to Omaha to watch the College World Series, or maybe you just want to go to some NFL game because you're a fan of another team out of state. You're going to get there on the same day and back. You can pool your money together, get something that works for your group. Just log on to jetnwa.com for more details or to get a quote. You can ask about the Jet Card memberships for even more perks. By the way, if you're not in Northwest Arkansas, they can come get you and then take you. Log on to jetnwa.com. That's jet with 2 T's. If you were thinking about going to the Austin Regional, they had a storm that blew down the center field fence.
Yeah, it's gone. Well, I mean, it's blown
There's a
over.
picture of it's like metal on a chain link. What are they doing in Austin? They don't have a real wall?
Well,
there are parts of it that are wall, parts of it that are fence.
So they claim it's going to be fixed and ready to go by game time.
Tomorrow.
So,
They'll get it done.
But
they'll get it done.
I don't think they're going to have to play anywhere
Too busy
else.
sipping tea to worry about it.
Well, I mean, Edward's drinking tea now. What is with the new tea cake?
Yeah,
by
what's
way?
the
You've
deal,
been
man?
hot tea.
Scratchy throat, sinuses.
Really?
Just trying to get cleared out.
Is it helping?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
It helps relieve the
Is
throat.
that just like regular
throat
tea, or you have some kind of special blend of tea, or what's the story?
It's called Throat Coat.
Yeah, the throat.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like a great name for the stadium.
I don't know.
it really does.
Throat coat,
Throat
Razorback
coat tea.
Stadium.
Yeah.
Throat coat tea, Razorback Stadium.
What is it, $4 million a year? Is
So
what I
that
read?
was what Hunter had mentioned previously when somebody interviewed him about it. $3.5 to $4 million, looking for a 10-year deal, about a $40 million deal over the course of 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
They haven't had the success in selling it that they would prefer to have had doing it privately, through just conversations with people they know or whatever that have businesses. I assume that's what that means. So they're going to go out and get a third party and look for bigger corporate, maybe even outside of state corporations, like Seductions. As a
National
name for
company.
Yeah, national.
More of your national
company. So I thought we could have some fun for a minute. Yes. Eddie from Clarksville Stadium. If you had $40 million and you could give it, what name would you want to put on the stadium? If you didn't have to sell your business, you didn't have to advertise, you got $40 million to waste, which I know most of us do. And well, let's have some fun. Monopoly money. You get to name the stadium. What are you choosing? What do you want to name it? Preferably after a business. Let's not go down the other route. You don't need, we've been down this route before where we've talked about roller funeral homes with All Our Respect Stadium.
Where it says like home of the Razorbacks on the press box. You just take that out and put it with all our respect.
Samsung, 1865, unexpected charge on your credit card.
Yeah.
Samsung Stadium. All right, give me some names. Best Buy. I don't see Walmart or Tyson in this equation right now.
They'd already be in on it. If
Jefferson bus lines.
Yeah.
IHOP.
Bad boy mowers.
Bad boy mowers.
Stadium.
IHOP. Poland Weed Eater Bowl.
Blockbuster.
Arkansas.
Blockbuster.
Stadium.
Arkansas
Bringing it
Scholarship
back,
Lottery
baby.
Stadium. Lotto. You got to get the lottery in there.
Yeah. What would be good?
Razorback Raffle Stadium.
Subaru Stadium. Richard's Meat Market.
Single A in Danville's got a suggestion.
Maybe after I noticed you didn't read it.
No, I didn't. As a matter of fact, I'm going to leave that to somebody else.
I mean, it's not that bad. Could be.
Well.
Jen Biela Memorial Stadium.
Dollar General.
That's it.
There you go.
The
Dollar
DG.
General.
That's it. That's the answer.
The Dollar
DG.
General Stadium.
Or Dollar General Fresh Market Stadium. One of the two.
I'm going to throw out Flight by Yingling. Flight Stadium.
I think DG's the answer right there.
Dollar General's not bad.
Dollar General, Waffle House. Those are all good ones.
Stadium names are, whatever you can get on there.
What's Kentucky's like Kroger? Aren't they like Kroger Food Stadium or something
football,
like that? Yeah.
I love a good Kroger.
IGA.
Some schools don't sell the name of their stadium.
Harp Stadium.
Right? Bryant Denny Stadium doesn't have a name on it, does it?
No.
Neyland Stadium?
Not to my knowledge.
They might have an on-field sponsor.
How many
in fact, Tennessee has they have an on-field sponsor,
have an
but it's not
deal.
It's not part
It's
of
not
the
name of the stadium.
Right.
MetLife, U.S. Cellular.
Mississippi State does not. Ole Miss does not.
Spirit Halloween Stadium,
Yeah.
Michael and Fort Smith.
Yeah,
That's
Spirit.
pretty good.
That's good.
Spirit
Party
Halloween.
City.
Yeah, those are good. I was trying to think though, who all has naming.
Yeah, there's a lot. I was just thinking through
John
SEC
Daly
teams.
Vodka Seltzer Stadium.
There you go. 60.
Yeah.
Hooters Stadium.
John Daly 60. Hooters.
There really aren't all that many now that I'm sitting here thinking.
Are there any Hooters left? Waffle House. Mad Butcher Stadium.
Mad Butcher. That's a good one.
Chico's Bail Bonds.
Yeah.
What's OnlyFans? Who said OnlyFans Stadium?
I don't know
That's
what-
actually a good name.
It's just for the fans.
Catfish.
It's just for the fans. We just call it fans only.
Fans only stadium.
Catfish hole.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, those are some good ones.
Are there? We haven't gotten really a good one yet.
Well, I
we're,
do like.
we're really struggling with creativity. The Grease Pig. How about the Grease Pig Stadium? That's actually pretty good.
That works.
Chief Motel.
Yeah.
Let's see what else we got here.
Cronut Stadium.
Yeah, Kronos is a good place.
Flora Farm State Line Dispensary Stadium.
There you go.
From what I've heard, you're using your paper not for writing, but for rolling doobies.
8:45. Good morning. For Chuck Barrett, I'm Bo Madden. Good morning. Hey, kids, how about a bagel?
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Guys, regardless of our age, feeling good is something we all want. That's what the Sweat No Edge is all about. It's where health, confidence, and peak performance come together. We all face challenges like low energy, hair loss, who's looking at me, stubborn weight, and skin health. The good news is we can do something about it. Get your free evaluation today and see where you are. Chuck and I have both done it and are better off for it. Log on to sweatgnomecosmetic.com and click on the Sweat Gnome Edge.
Arkansas's one-stop automotive shop is right around the corner. Fayetteville Auto Park. FayettevilleAutoPark.com. Chevy, Toyota, Honda, Acura, Collision Center, all in one place. And if you're shopping pre-owned, Fayetteville Auto Park has you covered. With so many new cars sold, we always have a great selection of fresh trades. Why settle for anything less than the best? Fayetteville Auto Park, West Showroom Drive in Fayetteville. Proud sponsor of the Chuck and Bo Show.
Some moments just call for something unforgettable. At Blakeman's, you don't just buy a diamond. You create an unforgettable experience. Their newly remodeled space is stunning with Cafe B right inside and their in-house diamond expert that'll help you find the perfect piece every time. That's just part of the Blakeman's experience. When you see the purple bag, you know it's something special. It always saves the day. Blakeman's Fine Jewelry. It's more than jewelry. It's your story.
If you've been hurt in a car wreck, if you're struggling to get your Social Security disability, or you're buried in debt thinking about bankruptcy, don't wait. You need a legal team that knows how to fight for Arkansas.
That's why you can trust Cadell Reynolds. Bill Reynolds and his team know how to get results when it matters most. Whether it's personal injury, disability, or bankruptcy, they've got your back.
Dial 866-314-3728 or visit CadellReynolds.com today.
Cadell Reynolds. Make the right call. At the Stonebreaker Hotel, we believe in the art of gathering, whether over a thoughtfully prepared meal or a quiet moment on Markham Hill. Start your day with breakfast classics from the all-day menu, served from 7:30 to 1. Savor shareable bites from the bar and lounge menu until 10. And let the dinner menu from 5 to 9 bring familiar flavors with a fresh twist. And for a weekend well spent, how about brunch? Rooted in connection, designed for comfort. Learn more at stonebreakerhotel.com.
With rainy season here and summer just around the corner, make sure your gutters are ready. Hogcroft Gutters, locally owned with over 30 years of experience, does it all. Seamless gutters made on site, trenching and French drain. Fully licensed and insured with a 20-year warranty on every job. Serving Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley. And if you're outside those areas, just give them a call or a text. And for a free inspection, visit hoggutters.com. That's hoggutters.com.
You want to talk about washed? You're being brainwashed by idiots. You're following idiots.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Everybody wants to win. When you, as a fan or a person or whoever, make everything about winning, you're saying that only winning is acceptable. And I guarantee you, you don't win every single day.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
How can you guarantee something like that, Bart? You don't even know.
It's easy.
Brian Kelly wins every day.
No, he doesn't.
Winning every day. Brian Kelly.
In fact, I can point to some very specific losses.
He's got a new book coming out, Winning Every Day with Brian Kelly.
Breaking news. This just in, the La Quinta Inn.
Oh, yeah.
La Quinta. La Quinta. La Quinta. La Quinta.
La Quinta.
Sound like my dad. How about some
La
quish?
Quinta, La Quinta Inn Stadium.
How about some of their
When's
quish?
the last time you stayed at a La Quinta Inn?
Well, I mean,
La Quinta.
it's a family. A family. Oh, man, the stadium names. How about Great Expectation Stadium?
Yeah, that's a good one.
The movie.
Armchair quarterback.
The
stadium.
Sound of Music.
I called that
The
play
Von
stadium.
Trapp family Razorback Stadium.
I called that play. Put him in the Heisman Stadium.
I called that play
You
stadium.
better look a little closer. You
Eddie,
better look a little closer.
Woo
Stadium.
Woo.
Woo Stadium. Somebody's going to have to name it. It's going to have to be something. Bang Stadium. That's an energy drink.
Yeah, it is.
Bang energy.
I'm going. I got Flight Stadium. We're gonna do Flight. Let's just start with our partners. How about Pascal Stadium?
There you
Great.
go.
Weichert Realtors Stadium.
Yeah.
First Security Bank Stadium.
Splash.
Stadium. There we go.
That's a good one.
There we go. They're going to install a water park
That's
outside
right. That's
in
right.
Lot 56.
Oh, you get a free car wash with every ticket.
Silverado Stadium. The Situation Room. Chevy of Fayetteville Situation Room.
I can get behind that.
Bart Stadium.
Yeah.
Bart.
So they got to come up with something. So they got to get somebody to spend $40 million to name the stadium. It'll be, it's going to be nobody. It's like when Bielema was hired and we listed off every single coach in the country that could possibly get the job and his name was never mentioned because we had an entire year to do it while John L. was doing the Branson Show Act.
Oh, yeah.
Did Bielema's name ever come up that year? Did it?
No.
Did it ever come up once?
Bart had a top 25 potential list every week, and he would move people up and down on the list. It was so comprehensive, and his name was never mentioned.
Really?
Biela's name
never
was,
won.
Nobody ever thought of him one time.
He was winning 3 straight Big Ten titles, 3 straight
Thought he
Rose
was
Bowls.
untouchable, not possible.
Nobody in a million years would have been
68
like, yeah,
and
we're getting
24.
that guy.
Little did we know he'd written
a letter.
He'd written Jeff Long a love letter.
We didn't know that.
Pen pals.
Now, if we'd known that, it would have been easier to predict.
By the way, this guy Grant Harden that escaped from Calico Rock. Any updates? Anybody heard from him?
Nothing
I've
yet.
Has he tried to contact you?
He is not. He is not. And, I've been keeping up with that.
Yeah,
The search area has expanded.
In all seriousness, I mean, I've been keeping
been
up
looking
with
over
that.
your shoulder?
Well, I don't know. I've not been looking over my shoulder, but I've been keeping up with what's going on. He's a bad guy. They need to catch him.
When you get out of your vehicle, you're not looking around twice?
Well, I do that
Yeah,
all the
maybe.
time
Oh,
anyway.
okay.
My head's always on a swivel.
yeah,
ball.
you're
You
on
know
punt
that.
team.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
This is the latest from Benton County Prosecutor Nathan Smith. He is a sociopath. He's extremely dangerous.
See, that's
He's
the
already
deal.
proven that he has no moral core.
Well,
Do you think he developed a pen pal in prison and
he got some help.
they're working with?
He got some help.
He's got cohorts. I don't want to talk about this anymore.
I was going to say, it's making me a little uncomfortable.
I do feel like we have to keep the update.
Well, we
got a daily update.
We got to tell people what's going on.
We got a daily
Still
update.
out there.
Jackson, great job at the
Hey,
Hog
you
Pen
did
today.
awesome, man.
Wonderful.
All right, thanks to Matt Jones and Brandon Marcelo for stopping by. We're going to try and do it again tomorrow. That's when the actual game day will be.
Yeah, game day.
For all of us here
2 o'clock tomorrow.
at the Chuck and Bo Show. Have a wonderful Thursday.
First Security is about more than great banking. Yes, we provide the financial expertise, digital tools, and everything else you need when you need it. But we also go all in on local support with friendly professionals, plus convenient locations all across the state. Because we believe personal banking is better banking. Visit fsbank.com for details. That's fsbank.com for friendly, local banking with First Security. Bank better. Member FDIC.
Oaklawn is your hot springs escape. Enjoy plush comfort, upscale dining, and Arkansas's only Forbes 4-star rated spa at our luxury hotel. And with easy access to Hot Springs National Park and sparkling lakes,